podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the Voice of the People. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
Hey, Daddy, this a dollar beat.
BoxingVoice.com. No matter what nobody say, man, spirit, can't nobody fuck with me, man. You know, I can't be fucked with, you know.
Dollar D Beyonce Productions.
Whether you pay to see me win, or you pay to see me lose, you're gonna pay. Fuck it, the kids still gotta eat. I don't have to watch, you know, any footage of a fighter. I mean, because I'm Floyd Mayweather, everybody gotta watch me. I knew eventually I was gonna have to fight Oscar over. I feel like he was straight up and down, no really no special effects. BoxingVoice.com. How can Canelo have the biggest deal? Your deal is for $300 million, and I made $350 million just in one fight. And you're fighting on the app. BoxingVoice.com. I'm a king, okay? I eat a feast. Every time I eat a feast. And when I get up from the table, I don't give a fuck who get the leftovers. At the end of the day, follow my green print.
Dollar D Beyonce Productions.
BoxingVoice.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Man, it's been a minute since we've been able to preview and predict, but COVID-19 is no joke, and it's got boxing shut down, but we will always bring you some boxing talk to discuss the latest interviews with boxing insiders, fighters, managers, promoters, etc., and great old back and forth debate. Today, we're doubling up on the Andy Ruiz, Eddy Reynoso topic. It had been brought to our attention that Eddy Reynoso was interested in training Andy Ruiz. Ruiz seen the article and come out and said that he would love to train with Reynoso. Then we're going to discuss Jermell Charlo, Lions Only, going back and forth with Terrence Crawford, who says, don't make me show you who the real Lion King of the jungle is. So we're going to give you all the details about that possible matchup. Or is it just Twitter beef gone bad? AJ Fury, or should I say just Anthony Joshua, is all of a sudden now saying that it would be amazing to tell Pulev and Wilder to both accept step aside money. These guys want to go straight to the tango. They want to do the dance. Well, this is what we're going to be talking about here, and we got one last topic to round it off. Deontay Wilder comes out and says, it wasn't me in that fight, that performance. So much more that we need to know, according to Deontay Wilder, but he's not at liberty to let us know just yet. But soon it will be revealed why he feels that it wasn't me. So these are the four main topics. We got plenty of news and notes to talk about. If you're interested, you already know the number to call in, 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 time. Voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. Don't forget, add Nestor Gibbs on Skype. Since it's Thursday, if you are a preview and prediction Patreon, you get to call in on Skype along with the other folks. So go ahead and hit us up on Skype and be part of the conversation. All right, let's go on out to Cash Weezy in the building.
What's up, man? Yeah, I just want to say I saw the fight too.
Stay focused, stay working my dad. Like Boxing Voice.
Because if he comes to fight, then I'm going to have to look for him.
I saw the fight too.
I think you accurate.
Yes. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Deontay Wilder said it wasn't me. But Bob Arum chimes in, was what caught my attention on IFL TV. He kind of compared Deontay's Wilder to a gun, his right hand to a gun, saying in a robbery, if you take the gun away from the robber, you just beat his ass. So I found that pretty interesting. So yeah, do you take step aside money, Pulev? Wilder doesn't even seem like he's acknowledging that. Let's go.
I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Lynch is the conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody like me. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match.
Call you mute face.
Champ! Call me mute face. But we back at it again, man, and again and again. And why they trying to play my boy Wilder again? Why the UK getting a little greedy right now, trying to keep everything on their side of the pond? Well, ain't gonna happen. He's gonna have to see Wilder next. Champ! What up, Mario?
It's me, Mario.
What up, fellas? Yeah, man, we got a lot to chop up. This is pretty crazy in these times, and for so much stuff to have just happened, like in the last, I don't know, it was like a little over 24 hours. All these kind of Twitter beefs just started popping up, and a lot of people start talking. I think that these fighters are getting anxious. I really do. I think that everybody's kind of getting anxious. They want to start getting these fights on. I think this is just the best thing for us. I honestly. All the promoters keep talking, all the managers keep talking, like when boxing comes back, it's going to be back in a big way, and we're going to get fights faster than we ever expected to get them. I think that all of this is kind of lining up, and maybe I'm being a little too optimistic about it. Maybe, you know, this is just them trying to keep their names in it. But from Jermell to AJ to Dominic Breazeale to Leo Santa Cruz to Devin Haney to Gary Russell Jr. Everybody seems anxious to get that big fight in. I think that, you know, with this stuff setting in and everybody realizing this coronavirus ain't nothing to play with, they know that by the time we're ready to fight again, these guys are going to have that itch, and they're going to have that itch to get it on with somebody that at the top level, that we're going to get top level fights. I'm sure of it.
Ready to play with Andy Ruiz ready to play with Eddy Reynoso. What are your thoughts on that?
Yo, the thoughts is what it is, man. You know, towards the last time we talked about it, you know, it's kind of like, yeah, he is a good match.
Nah, why don't you lead with an apology and say, damn, Ness, looks like you was right, and even Andy thinks that's the perfect pick.
Why you hurt right now? Gah! Look, he's still not the perfect. You know, we had the privilege of interviewing you know, a good trainer right now behind a good champion, and Justin Gamber, and he definitely cleared up a couple of things with his experience. And if you want to look at that, go back and listen to the episodes. Very interesting, Justin Gamber, and gave us an insight that at the end of the day,
on this morning show,
correct, and it's up to the fighter, man. It's up to the fighter. Sometimes you could wave you know, rose petals in people's faces, and they just won't get it. You know, they're gonna be what they are, and the change got to come within. Ruiz got to get serious from within, and I think that it would still be. I'm not going against it. It would still be official if he went over there.
It is 100% official, but you know, like the trainer Patrick, right? Justin said this morning.
Justin Gamber.
Justin Gaper said this morning.
Gamber.
Gamber,
like gambler.
Gambler.
Yeah, like gambler, gambler without the gambling.
Without the B. Yeah, Justin Gamber said today, you know, some guys, they want to work out real hard as soon as you don't have anything to tell them. But, you know, there was some things about Andy that was said. So I'm just curious, is one thing to get excited about something, but it's another thing to go put in that work. Me personally, if Canelo's in the same area with me, I'm pushing. You know, when I go to the gym just to work out and pump iron or do calisthenics and hit the treadmill, if I see beautiful women, I'm motivated. I'm there like, woo, I'm pushing. You know, so if I'm a champion, a prize fighter, a former champion, and there's a champion there, a millionaire champion, superstar, celebrity, prize fighter, I'm pushing.
I think the last loss stung so much that I believe it if he does go to Reynoso's and he shows the best of himself. I mean, we saw what the ill-trained Andy Ruiz can do, man. Like he washed your boy AJ, you know what I'm saying? Your boy AJ talking slick out there, you know what I'm saying, right now, but he watched him the first time, and he was in shape, man. We just need Andy's. I mean, just look at it, bro. Like, he was out of shape, still had AJ on the back foot. Like, we just need an in shape, motivated Andy. And if moving to Reynoso's is gonna do that, go and don't fuck that up. You know what I'm saying? To where it's like people are gonna say, oh, not even going to Canelo's fucking cap fucking help this guy to motivate him, because it's like, then what's the next one? So like, I'm looking at it like from his perspective, I think, in my own way, like he's gonna fucking go hard for this next fight. He's got to get that back. I think it stung a little bit.
Well, you got to look to going back again to what Justin said, Coach Justin said this morning. That was the original point I was making through all of this, was that it starts at home. It starts with Andy. Nobody is a perfect fit until Andy is right with himself. You know what I'm saying? And he's got that motivation to go to the gym. I mean, it was simply put, Andy doesn't like to go to the gym. That's exactly what he said. You know what I mean? And so, could those things help him? Absolutely. But I truly believe that there is no amount of encouragement you can give if that encouragement for yourself isn't there. You know what I mean? Having that encouragement for yourself, like being able to encourage yourself and inspire yourself, is where it starts. Then those other things kind of stack up. And it's like getting motivation. It's all about the team. You know what I mean? You can have a great trainer, but if you don't have great sparring partners, it doesn't work as well. You can have great sparring partners, but if you don't have a great strength and conditioning coach, like, it's all tied in. And Andy is that centerpiece, and not just Andy, all fighters, but specifically in this case, we're talking Andy, and we're talking what Reynoso could do right now. Andy's got to get ready.
Mario, you think food plays a big part? Food plays a big part in the mental as well, because you could eat bad and just feel lazy. You could eat clean and feel motivated. Mm-hmm. So is food playing a part, like the nutrition? Like, does he need some more science in his diet?
Absolutely. I think that could absolutely help, to learn about, carbs and starched carbs and the difference between the two, and the difference between heavy carbs and carbs that are going to absorb, and carbs that are going to turn into energy, and carbs that are going to turn into sugar. I mean, it's a lot, you know what I mean? And so you're absolutely right. If you were to be able to put him in a program, a nutrition program that'll already get him feeling great coming out of bed, because that's what a good nutrition plan can do, Enrique. Like you said, it makes you feel good. That would just be the ultimate start.
Good thing is that he can afford it now. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I'm pretty sure he got the money. He's going to be able to do that. Like, all the improvements that need to be made, I think that he's in a position where he can make them. We just need him. We need him fit at all times. There's some guys that hit harder than AJ in that division. You know what I mean? They might not have been champs or whatever, or it might have been ex-champs. But what I'm saying is that, the wind is blowing this fight around Brazil wanting to fight Andy. And, Brazil was always a hard, heavy-handed guy. He's he put away, what's my man's name?
Negron?
Not Negron, the other guy.
Amir Mansour?
Yeah, he put away Mansour. Mansour is always a real tough guy. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm saying is he got heavy hands and he got distance. Like, it'll be a fucking shame if you're not in super shape and you lose against Brazil because you couldn't get on the inside or you wasn't fast enough. Basically, all the problems he had with AJ. So it's like, you don't want to look like that with these other guys that are not champions, because then it's like you start looking like you fading.
Brazil, how much of an option is he? He wants an opportunity, but, he's B-side. He was knocked out, lost to everybody, whereas, Ruiz still got some clout. Ruiz is looking for a tune-up before he takes on the likes of a Luis Ortiz. So is Dominic a tune-up, or is that too much for Ruiz, his first fight with a new trainer?
I thought that was a little bit disrespectful, calling him a tune-up, but then I was like, well, maybe he is a tune-up the way he looked against Wilder.
I'm gonna say a gatekeeper. Is that validness, Mario?
I think it's too soon for any of those words. It's a little bit disrespectful, but it is the heavyweight division. We don't know how much was taken out of him by that knockout loss.
Whoa. Is that you? Yo, I think Andy Ruiz has two things that he got to get rid of. One, he probably got rid of after the AJ loss, which is believing his own hype. And two, man, that pizza that replaced the Snicker bars, he got to get rid of the junk food thinking that's where his power comes from and that the fat boy always wins. You know, he should save that for retirement. But getting rid of those two things, I'm sure he's going to look way more athletic and probably have more possibility. It's the elite fighters in the heavyweight division. That includes Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, look, I wouldn't call Dominic Breazeale, I wouldn't call him a tune-up type of fighter. Not at all. But at the same time, I think that fight works for both of them. I really do in a major way. Unfortunately, I honestly think it could be a fight that they set up towards. Like they give him a tune-up, they give Breazeale a tune-up, maybe on the same card, and that's the fight that they kind of work towards. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, like that still wouldn't. I would still need to wait until he fought a Breazeale type. Like that's a good enough opponent for me to see him and say, okay, well, I like the direction he's going, you know, because he could show up 300 pounds and beat a lot of guys, you know, but not the type of not the caliber of Breazeale. You show up 300 pounds against Breazeale, no matter how much better Andy is or isn't, he's not going to win that fight. You know, Breazeale is a real fighter, but for these purposes, I do think he'd be a great fight for him. I do think it would be a solid comeback fight for him. It would give him a little bit of a tougher out than probably most people would get, which I think he needs at the end of the day. And it would also give him the ability to, you know, kind of like gain as much traction as he can coming back without hopping right into shark-infested waters.
Yeah,
so,
I honestly think he could come back and get in there with King Kong. Just off of you know.
You calling King Kong a tune-up? He said he needs a tune-up.
Nah, I'm not saying. I just listen to what I said. I said I don't even think he needs a tune-up. I think he could come straight back in and get in there with Luis King Kong Ortiz. I mean, he's just fast, man. You know, King Kong. I'm not saying
I
King
would
Kong
agree if he wasn't switching trainers, man. But you gonna switch trainers and try and take on a second toughest fight of your career?
And has Reynoso ever trained a heavyweight?
He got Frank Sanchez. He's been training him for 2 fights. Two fights.
I mean, yo,
2 fights.
Consider
two
how
training
fights.
It's 2 fights.
Sorry.
Consider how he got KO'd though, right? Like he got KO'd pretty ugly. You know what I mean? It would. This is a King Kong that lost twice. You know, to Wilder. He trained hard. You know what I'm saying? It's like
I don't know, man. You looking at the outcome. He was winning the round in most people's scorecard. He had like 6 rounds up. So, you know, you're like, oh, he got knocked out, but he was actually winning and was actually the best we've seen him. Remember, he had added the addition of Coach Larry Way, who we just interviewed. He had him out there running miles. You heard Justin Gamber today like, oh, when Ruiz was with me, he was running 5 miles. Well, Luis Ortiz was in the hot sun in Vegas running up the mountain. So, like, you know, don't discredit what happened to Ruiz. He got knocked out because that's what Wilder's known for, but he was winning the fight according to pugilists and experts.
Yeah, Ortiz you meant. Yeah, no, I agree. I think that Ortiz would be a lot on his plate to come back to. I don't even know if that fight would be, depending on who the tune-up was. You know, if he got a Breazeale, then yeah, let's bring on King Kong next. But if he took like a bottom 20, even somewhere beyond the 20s rankings in the world, and you start getting into that, you know, class where you can kind of do whatever not do whatever you want, but you know, you don't have to be the best version of Ruiz to beat some of these guys, then no, I would wait multiple fights. But assuming he comes back and fights a guy like Breazeale, then I would absolutely be, you know, up for a Luis Ortiz fight. It's a great fight. I love that fight. I just don't love it for Andy right now. If he's gonna switch trainers. And here's the other thing too. Like we could talk about what, you know, this means in terms of what, because all Andy really said was that, you know, he wants to train with Reynoso. You know, it wasn't anything really more than that. He didn't really say like, oh, well, I want this or I like him for that. It was a simple statement. That's really all it was. And I think that's enough to suggest that that's where he's going to go. Both sides have, you know, basically kind of said, okay, I mean, I'm assuming terms would be pretty easy to come to. Like, you know, I think it's as good a done deal. And that's probably the best guess that we can take at this point. So to have that man in your corner come back, fight in Brazil, I think he'd absolutely be ready within a year's time. For an Ortiz, I mean.
Yeah, so what? He fights. So we don't want him fighting anybody in the top 10. We want him.
I mean, you could give him Gerald Washington, even though he just lost. It won't be a little unfair. Maybe an Amir Mansour.
Amir?
Bro, it's a tune-up. It's
That's
a
what I'm saying.
tune-up.
But you know how sometimes tune-ups is like I mean, I'm looking at it as a boxing fan right now, right? I'm a turn boxing fan. Like, damn, like you about to go beat on Amir Mansour. Not that Amir Mansour ain't somebody that can fight, but isn't he a little old already? Isn't he a little?
He is. But yo, Dimitrenko was a tune-up. The dude that he fought before he fought AJ, that was a tune-up. That look at his resume and tell me who he's beat. He hasn't beat anybody. He's lost to everybody. So, yeah, you're a tune-up. Like, that's what they need. They need a tune. He's already fought Joe Hanks, but he needs someone like that. Not a can, but someone who's about to be tipped over.
So, like, let's look at tip-overs right now. Like, who's on the cusp of getting, like, a big chance? Like, but that's we could call him a tune-up, or can't we? Like, is he fighting a guy like Chaz Witherspoon coming back? You know what I'm saying?
Hell no. I mean, I hope he doesn't go in and pull a guy like Witherspoon out. That's what Usyk did.
That's why I like Dominic Brazil, because Dominic Brazil is nobody's tune-up. But at the same time, we're going to kind of rearrange that word to kind of fit our definition of it. And what Dominic Brazil presents is a skill set that is very commendable, very respectable. He has an experience that, he's been in big fights. He's been in there with tough competition within that division. So he checks off a lot of boxes, and at the end of the day, if Ruiz is going to go like a Witherspoon type or something like that, I would still be sitting here saying, okay, well, let's see what happens. You know what I mean? Because I think he could beat a guy like Witherspoon without being the 100% version of himself. So, what does that accomplish for me, which, what's that worth? Really nothing. But for me, not a whole lot. But maybe it's what he needs. You know what I mean? Maybe he needs that soft touch.
I would go find Tom Schwartz. Tom Schwartz got the ESPN popularity. He was put on a big stage with Tyson Fury. He's a guy that you use. He can't be expensive. He's a German fighter. Give him a couple dollars, put him back on TV. He's Andy's tune-up. He's number 33 in BoxRec, right under guys like Junior Fa, David Price, Jermaine Franklin. Marco Hook, another good tune-up. Not really a heavyweight. Only had one real heavyweight fight versus Povetkin. Now is training to be a heavyweight. Not a bad tune-up. Carlos Takam, but it's hard to do because Takam signed a co-promotion deal with Top Rank and Joe DeGuardia. Yeah, man, you're going to have to go even further back than that. You're going to have to find some older names. Samuel Peters is a guy that Kurbret Pulev still uses. I think a year ago or some shit, he had a fight with Samuel Peters. Someone else had a fight with Samuel Peters. Lucas Brown is a guy that was supposed to fight Otto Wallen. Otto Wallen has a broken leg. Maybe they could sneak in Lucas Brown as a tune-up. Maurice Vach, we seen that he's being used as a tune-up for Dillian White and other guys. He's got David Hayes beat him. That's not a bad name to tune up with. Joey DeVaco, another two chubby guys going at it.
Those are two hard hitters too. That'd be an interesting fight. Those two guys kind of like, to me, have like a similar kind of punching on their hooks. Like, they put their all into it. That'd be a crazy fight. If those two exchanged,
you could give Devin Vargas. I know that name isn't going to be like on anyone's radar, but if you remember, he had that really good fight. I think Devin is from like Chicago or Toledo, and he had a good fight with Victor Bisbal, the overweight, definitely not looking in shape. It was like two fat guys fighting on Top Rank, but it was very entertaining. I don't know if you guys remember that. Victor Bisbal and Devin Vargas. That's a tune-up. Devin nowhere near the level of a Andy, but, a vet.
I have a name.
What?
He's probably definitely wants to, try to beat Andy Ruiz to place himself for a title fight against one of the bigger names. The kid that just beat Adam Kornacki.
Yeah, you were talking about Helenius.
Oh, Robert
Yeah, that's
Helenius.
not a tune-up though. That's not a tune-up.
Yeah, that's
Especially
a tough fight.
That's
I
a
think.
hard fight.
like if you're a manager,
force
and that's what I'm saying. If you're a manager though, like why
Yeah.
would you put your guy who is telling you I need a soft touch? I want to kind of see how I mesh with this new trainer. Why you gonna put him in with a dude that just knocked out someone by upset?
He like the dark horse, Cash. Like you don't want to throw him in there with him. If I'm gonna say anything,
y'all gonna get y'all bank accounts flipped upside down the way y'all manage fighters.
check it though. Like, can we put somebody in there with Andy that's maybe not necessarily a tune-up, but it's somebody that's up and coming that we like? Somebody like
Robert. Well, then taking his name, Robert Helenius. That's a guy that could be
fight.
No, because it is a guy that could be tipped over. He was losing every round. It's just he caught Adam Kornacki. He could be tipped over.
Do we give a guy like Nathan Gorman a chance? A guy like, Stefan Shaw, somebody that's just up and coming?
I don't think Ruiz will take Shaw.
I
Gorman,
don't think it does much for him.
Gorman, I could see the fight being made because Gorman ain't that special, but there's nothing there. Like, why bring a guy from the UK? He brings nothing to America. Like, no one's going to know him.
So, like, what I'm saying, what's gonna look sexy? What's gonna look good?
Helenius gonna look sexy. He got 3 losses. He's gonna look good because he got a knockout of Kornacki. So I believe
it's definitely a great fight. Absolutely, I just wouldn't want it
more
first.
Skillful than him, 100%.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But coming off of a new trainer. And that's just a tough thing. I got to see him in a little softer before that fight. But I would love to see that fight. I would. I think that's a great fight. And to me, if he beats a Robert Helenius, I mean, depending on what the fight looks like, obviously, that would show me a lot. That would show me a ton. Because here's the other thing about Robert Helenius. You could say that Andy Ruiz is much more skilled, and I believe he is more skilled. But the thing that boils down for me is in the last fight, Robert Helenius weathered a storm and came back, and he had gusto. You know what I'm saying? With a guy like Ruiz, if he gets into deeper waters, even if he's winning the fight, is he going to be able to keep up with Robert Helenius in that? And it's crazy to even say that. I feel weird saying that, but based off of that last fight, what have you done for me lately? Robert Helenius has that on his record, recently. He came back and he weathered a storm. That's a tough thing for Ruiz.
Yeah, but that's Adam Kornacki, though. What about the person saying that? Yeah, but that's Adam Kornacki.
I would say absolutely. If you're talking about skills, I understand where you're coming from. But then I would also say, yeah, that's Adam Kornacki, and that's Andy Ruiz. You look at, Ruiz, and he, Adam's never been accused of some of the things that Ruiz has been accused of, with the not training right and not eating right and not staying disciplined. Adam's
his body
that's
doesn't
a
say
blue collar,
right? Kornacki's body doesn't tell you he's eating right.
Yeah, I like that fight. Yeah, battle of the chubby guys. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, listen, that was a fight that they were gonna make. I don't know if they make it again off both guys coming off a loss. Like Adam to Keith Conley, his manager, there's an upside. He lost, but people are still going to buy his tickets in the Barclay. He's still a draw. He still brings in a lot of Polish fans. Do you really throw him back in there versus Andy, who was able to do so well with AJ? And, do you want double losses for your guy who can sell in the Barclay? He could still get 1 or 2 wins, right? Think about this. Deontay Wilder, if he doesn't beat Tyson Fury, Adam Kornacki could get 2 wins. Avenge the Helenius fight, maybe go a rematch with Areola. Boom, back in there with Wilder. Wilder, if he could beat him, boom, in there with Andy Ruiz on pay-per-view. You don't just waste your guys, man. Think strategic.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
you don't
hate
just
to
waste your
interrupt
guys.
you. We do have our first guest, Emmanuel Rodriguez Salcerito from Newark, New Jersey. What's going on, Salcerito? Talk to us, Emmanuel. How are you? Thanks for coming on the program.
What's up, man? Thank you guys. Thank you guys for inviting me.
No problem, brother. We appreciate it. Look, I got a few hosts and we got a lot of questions, so we'll just start right away. tell us why boxing. How'd you get started? Let us know, your career. Why should we follow you?
Well, I was 10 years old when I started. Obviously, I was born and raised in Newark, New Jersey, where Shakur Stevenson is from. Actually, we used to train together when I started. But the point was I was in a lot of trouble. I was always fighting, and my mom just didn't know what to do with me. And one time we went to the Puerto Rican parade, and my mother seen some kids hitting the pads. And she just said that maybe will help. So she put me in the gym, and then from there, I got my butt whooped. My first sparring, I think it was like my third day, and I really was just training just to beat that kid. Once I sparred him and I did good, after like a month after, he went to my mother's house and asked if I could start competing because I was sparring a national champ, and we didn't even know. And I did pretty good on my second spar with him, so from there it kept on. My mother said if I win my first fights, then she'll let me. If not, then I won't compete no more. And I just was winning and winning and winning, and thank God here I am.
So, what's your managerial and promotional position at this point? Who's guiding your career?
Okay, right now I got Carlos. Lowe's, they call him Lowe's. Carlos Rosario, he's the one that's helping me out. You guys may know who Joe Goodman.
From Philadelphia?
From Philadelphia. Well,
yeah.
From Philly. Well, he was the one that
he used to work for us. He used to be my Philadelphia correspondent. That's amazing.
Yeah, well, he was helping me out at one time. It was maybe a year ago or a year and some change ago.
With some D-League promotions?
Yeah, it was hard-hitting promotion, yep.
Okay.
And they was both helping me out, but, it didn't go through. Things wasn't working the way I thought it was, so a contract ended, and I just, moved on. He did his thing, and I moved on with Carlos.
So what's the next step? Where do you go from here?
Well, man, I don't have a promotional company. I don't have one at all right now, and that's what we're looking for. I think my last fight was February 15th. I went as the B-side fighter in Puerto Rico because I want to start opening up doors for myself. And I fought another undefeated kid. He was supposedly a prospect, and he was signed by Miguel Cotto Promotion, and I knocked him out in the second round. So that opened up a couple of doors for me, but now with this coronavirus, we got to wait, see when we start fighting back again. But for now, I don't have no promotional company. All I want to do is be active, man. Fight anybody, be active. That's it.
Hey, Emmanuel, Mario Munguia here. So let's talk real quick about the coronavirus. Let's talk about where you're at. What are you doing these days to stay active and stay ready? Is it hard to maintain that motivation based on the way the world is right now?
Well, a little bit, but I got 3 kids, so I'm trying to feed my kids. I gotta stay motivated. I'm really self-motivated, especially where the gym I'm in. I trained with Tevin Farmer, Jason Sosa, and Tevin Farmer showed me a lot. He's really self-motivated, and being around positive people helps you out. Even though we haven't been training together because of the coronavirus, but thank God I'm always running, shadow boxing. I stay active.
So, are you with Chino?
Well. We had a little. Well, we still boys, and I train in that same gym. But I started training with Reg. Reg.
Yeah. Coach Reg, absolutely. Raymond Savage's trainer.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I went with him, even though I still haven't had no pro fights with him yet. But he's the one that's been helping me out. Even though Chino helped me out off and on, but I'm not with Chino no more.
What's going on, Emmanuel? It's Alex here. Just wanted to ask, man. I know you haven't fought since you're facing now, who was an incredible puncher, and it was kind of short.
Yeah.
That fight. You weren't able to calentar and really start getting loose in there. It happened a little quick. I'm just asking how much did you take into consideration to make adjustments? And have you been working on your defensive boxing?
Almost like a Mexican typical fighter, even though he was Puerto Rican. But he just kept coming forward. I would just study him since the first round. It was easy to catch him because he was throwing always the same combinations. What gets me a little bit mad is that, like you said, it was short, and I haven't fought for a long time before that. I think if I fought in November, I also caught a knockout. But before that, I didn't fight. Before that November fight, I didn't fight till February. So what was really going on with my career is that I'm staying stuck. They not moving me the right way before when I was with my other team. But yeah, you can feel the rush when you in the ring and you're not fighting for a long time. So that was taking effect. But I don't know. It was this fight was really easy to me just because he was throwing the same combination. So I would just measure him, and then just caught that knockout because he was just throwing the same combination. It would have been a little bit harder if he was throwing different type of combinations because I'm rusty. But yeah.
Emmanuel Enrique right here. What's up, man?
What's up, man?
All right. Yo, what part of Newark you live in? And when you in like South, North, you don't gotta say the street or anything like that. And do you run the streets now? Yeah. And people are like, "Yo, Emmanuel, let's go, champ."
Well, look, yeah, I'm from North. I'm from North Newark, so I'm where all the poppies at. I'm from North Newark. Yeah, man, I got a lot of people. I'm not living there no more. I actually moved to South Jersey because I started training at the time with Chino. So I decided to move to South Jersey. But yeah, every time I go, my family out there, my mother live out there. I got, my stepfather, they all live out there. So every time I go, I still got friends and people that recognize me and shout me out. But I don't really have, I don't want to say the support because most of them don't know me like that. But it's not like the support I got in Puerto Rico.
Oh man, that's great. Stay out of Newark anyway, man. A lot of bad influence out there. I know once the COVID hunger kicks in, things might get ugly.
So,
yeah, that's.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Nah, it's all right. I say that's part of my story, man. One of the reasons why I left from North to Puerto Rico is because I was going through a couple of things over there and doing things I should not done, and I had to leave.
So, obviously, with no promoter, how do you know what's next? How do you keep yourself motivated? Like, why are you even in the gym if you ain't fought since 2015? Like, how do you remain focused?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard, man. It's really hard to stay focused that way. I just try to be positive, man, and have faith. I'm trying to open the doors up myself. Actually, a lot of people don't know I'm 6-0, 2 KO. Like I said, I fought February 15th. That was 2-3 months ago. I actually don't even get paid for my fights most of the time, or sometimes we even have to come out of pocket. Obviously for opponents and for the space and all that. So I haven't got no money off of boxing. I'm really investing in myself. So it's hard, man. Like, it's really hard, but I know I got the talent. I spar with, man, I'm going to just say world champs because it's true. I spar with world champs, and it's amazing how great I look, and I don't want to embarrass nobody, but sometimes I destroy these fighters that sign to big promotional companies like Top Rank or Eddie Hearn or Golden Boy, and it's just sad, that I don't have that opportunity. But hey, man, I got faith.
What is it?
And I know one day it'll happen.
What's your amateur background look like? Did you win any nationals? Because why wouldn't anyone want to pick you up? You with the right, team now. It sounds like someone should give you an opportunity, especially at 118. That division is pretty hot right now.
Yeah, man. I want me to be honest. I did over, if I'm not mistaken, I did like 103 fights or 102. I only lost 12 times, and like I'm saying, I was boxing since I was 10 years old. So most of them losses, I was really young. Also, I I won, I won 3 times Golden Gloves. I won Diamond Gloves. I won a lot of tournaments. I fought 2 times in the Nationals. Well, I'm sorry, I fought 3 times. I lost 1 and I won 2. I also won 1 in Puerto Rico. So I don't know, man. I guess it was because of my background before, back in the days. You know, I could have probably, like I was saying, I was training with Shakur at the time with his team. I could have probably been up there with them guys, but, you know, I got into some trouble in Newark. I got locked up, and that basically took a different route. That's why I had to leave, and I was like, you know what, I got to fix my life back again and start getting into boxing. That's when I signed pro.
So basically, it's about trying to get a promoter to believe in you. Listen, man, but being with Reg and Chino, they got the connections, man. They'll get you on some cards. Definitely in that Philadelphia area until, you know, a big name promoter picks you up, man. We're going to continue to follow your career, and we wish you, obviously, the best. We wanted to give you a platform to give out your story. 2 of the co-hosts from this show are from Newark, New Jersey, so it was good to see, you know, a product of our own neighborhood coming up out of there, and we want to help you get to that next level, brother. A lot of us on this show are Latinos, so we definitely te estamos apoyando de ese lado. If you can, please give out any social media, and yeah, man, thank you again, Salserito.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Estoy muy agradecido con ustedes poder darme esta plataforma so I could, you know, be on it and show my talent. Me pueden perseguir on Instagram as Team Salserito. On Facebook, you can find me as Emmanuel Salserito Rodriguez. And yeah, man, those are basically the social medias I use most of the time.
All right, Emmanuel, man, thank you so much. Listen, hit me up if you get anything you might be getting. We'll get you right back on and let the world know, brother. We're going to pump you up. Once again, follow him at Team Salserito. That's at Team, common spell, SALSERITO. Get those follows up. Thank you once again, Emmanuel. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Another 118-pounder to keep your eye on. Training out that Chino, Raul Chino Rivas gym out there. He's with Coach Reg. Very good trainer. Works closely with Tevin Farmer. And obviously he's trained Thomas Lamana. He works with Steven Ortiz as like a second, and obviously his head is Raymond Savage, and I think he has one more, Raymond Savage Ford, but there's one more that I believe Reg has. I'm not. Oh yeah, Josephat Ortiz. He still ain't get a deal either. Another little young guy. I mean, well, Top Rank was interested in him. I don't know what happened. But yeah, short and sweet, good interview. I want to keep bringing you guys these up-and-coming prospects, man. These guys are working hard. You see what I'm saying? He hasn't even gotten paid. So it's good to highlight them and let them know that we are watching, man, because he ain't make the dollars yet, but he's still staying focused. He relocated from North Jersey to South Jersey. That's huge, okay? South Jersey for us is like, yo, if you from Newark and you go to South Jersey, that's like going from New York to like Florida, except it's cold. You know what I mean? Like, it's not country or nothing like that, but it's just so much space out there. But yeah, man, good interview. Don't forget we got, who's coming up at 8 o'clock? I think it's like Gilberto, right? No.
Yeah.
Is he first? Gilberto Ramirez?
Yeah, he's first.
All right, so we got Gilberto Ramirez coming up next in 168-pound division. Remember, we had 168-pound coach of Caleb Plant on this morning. Obviously, talking about that division and possible matchups and the David Benavidez unification that he wanted. But we do have enough time to kind of get to the next topic while we wait. Crawford Charlo.
Where did that come from?
I know, so unexpected.
Nice.
I think it came from...
I know it came from the
They clicked up, man. What you can't talk about my clique. I'm going to talk about you, and that's what that is. Jermell, 154-pound WBC champion, trained by Derek James, who is also the trainer of Earl Spence, who's also the WBC 147-pound champion, but also IBF unified champion. And look, man, I'm not going to let nobody talk about you, Enrique. So if, somebody's saying that you ain't the best podcast host, I'm going to have to say you are. And that's kind of where this came from, except they took shots at each other.
Right. So they talking about seeing each other in the ring. So who goes up and who comes down?
I mean, honestly,
it's just Twitter words to me.
It is just Twitter words, but if we gonna think about it for real, who comes up? Crawford got to come up.
Yeah.
I would like to see a catch weight. Like that's what I would like for multiple reasons. Number one, Crawford is the bigger entity between the two. And you got to look at, some of the words that were said, Jermell, like Jermell was reacting off of the Crawford interview with PBC with DAZN, where he talked about Earl Spence and he talked about that fight, and then Jermell reacted on social media and kind of backed his boy, but the words got heated, and Jermell warned him, like, you don't want me. I promise you don't want me. I'm not going to lie. I kind of do want him for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like that fight. It's kind of cool. I mean, here's the thing, though. Would I want it at the risk of Spence, at the risk of Thurman, at the risk of Garcia? No, not at all. Because the risk of him moving up in any fashion, whether it's a catch weight or not, is still a risk. You know what I mean? Plain and simple. And so I would still rather him accomplish what he needs to do and focus on the prize. But at the end of the day, if these guys aren't stepping up, we've been seeing this a lot over the past 5-6 years. I mean, it's always happened in boxing, but it's been a lot. It's been really prevalent over the past few years. These guys going up to get the fights that they can't get. And so it would be fun. I think it would be a lot of fun. And to be honest with you, I think Crawford got him with the weight disadvantage and everything. And this goes back to what we were talking about with Gary Russell earlier today. It's not about picking a guy and saying, well, I like him or I don't like him. It's about judging and saying, well, do you think he can carry the weight? Well, I think based off of Crawford's skill and how talented he is and the fact that he is likely the pound for pound best in the world, if anybody can carry the weight, it's that man right there. We saw Manny Pacquiao do that kind of stuff, moving up to welterweight and then junior middleweight. So I think he absolutely has it in him, but is it worth the risk? I don't think so.
I think it's a fantasy fight. Like you said, they just protecting each other's camp. Well, Jermell is protecting the camp. And Jermell is protecting the camp that he's in, and his line's only done, and he's just doing the talking for Arrow.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it Mario's route, man. I'm gonna entertain the fight as a fight. I don't think that it happens because Jermell isn't popular enough to make Crawford go up in weight. I know he's more popular than Patrick Teixeira. So that means that the fight is a possibility. Not only did we and many listeners and callers that participated during that one show not mind Crawford moving up to 154 and beating Patrick Teixeira once he beat Carlos Adames for the WBO and was elevated for the full WBO champion. But Teixeira brings nothing. Jermell is 10 times the fighter and more popular than what Teixeira was. And obviously we can tell from the back and forth on Twitter that this will definitely be a good press conference and build up. Floyd moved up to 54 to fight Oscar. Jermell is not Oscar. Terrence is the A side in this equation due to all the accolades. So it's just up to Terrence. It's really up to Terrence. Would he prefer to fight a guy like Brook? Or would he send offers to guys like Keith and Jermell? I don't know. I'm going to be honest. I would receive it as a super fight. I would receive it as a super fight if they made it and he moved all the way up to 54 and fought Jermell for his title, a WBC strap. He didn't really have many of those. I would be considering that a super fight. I would be, pushing it like one. No different than Crawford, Mikey, Brooke Gennady. Because I didn't like Brooke Gennady, but it was a super fight. It had the feel. The people were behind it, just like Mikey. I didn't like it, but it was a super fight, When the public gets behind it, I don't know that the public is behind this Jermell Crawford, but I believe that they might, right? Like I can see this being announced, and then everybody like, what? Oh,
That's. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I think we got our next guest ready. Do me?
Really?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I read some. My bad.
Maybe, because Doomy's communicating.
Okay. I'm sorry.
On IG, I had Gamboso Jr. Saying he was all set with Skype. Was he booked for today?
Yeah, he is, but that's for 8:30. He's not yet. He's not yet.
All right.
Yo, I think that's a dream fight for hardcore fans like you and Mario, because I wasn't even thinking about that being a possible fight for Terrence Crawford.
Well, I mean, look, I'm not going to say that Jermell Charlo is the absolute number one, but he's got to be thought of as the number one in the division. So you got two number ones in the division above and the division below fighting. I don't know. I think it is a super fight. And I can understand why you say that, because I agree with you. I didn't see it coming either. It wouldn't be a fight that I would have thought. But let me tell you who I think ultimately makes that decision. Honestly, I think Spence makes that decision. I think he says, homeboy, you're not going to get my guy. That's my guy. I got plans for that man. You're not going to come over here and you're going to make me look bad. Like, yo, you made him this guy go up to 154. You know what I mean? It makes it look like he just couldn't get the fight with Spence, so he had to, he let Big Brother get it or something like that. You know what I mean? And
bro,
Jermell
got too much aggression.
Yo, you're right. I didn't think of that. That's a good angle, Mario. Like, they might not let Jermell take it because it's Earl's super fight. Like, which one does more numbers? But to be honest though, like, if you let Jermell take it, I'm pretty sure people still gonna pick Crawford to win. So then doesn't that make it bigger? Because it's kind of like the Mikey thing. Like, I went through your clique, So Crawford's going through his clique.
Yeah. I think there's been too much marination on this fight, man. I want the Crawford versus Spence before I see a Jermell Charlo. But even going back to what I was saying, Jermell just got too much aggression. He got the right type of aggression to kind of like nullify whatever boxing skills Crawford's bringing to the table at that weight division, because he's heavier, stronger. I mean, we've been told that Crawford's a strong guy. He likes wrestling and stuff like that. But there's weight divisions, man, and he's carrying himself up from lower weight divisions. Charlo, you know what I'm saying? He's at 154. He walks around probably like at 170. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? When they get to camp, they go to work. But he'll
be the bigger man, but so was Oscar. Floyd always gave up weight, and so did Manny. Manny came in at 150 versus 154 Margarito. Skills pays the bills, not weight.
Yo, this is why this show's so good, the Boxing Voice podcast, because I didn't care about it until now. You guys are hyping it up a little bit, and I'm thinking like maybe Spence needs a tune-up, and this is how Charlo steps into.
Well, he absolutely needs it, Enrique. You're right. He's got to fight Danny. He's got to make sure he's 100 after that accident, and we need Crawford to get a real fight. Jermell Charlo would be absolutely the biggest, most dangerous. He's the most biggest, dangerous threat Crawford has ever faced. Some, I guess, Charlo fans might even say it's more dangerous than fighting Earl, because he's the natural man. It's like natural bigger man. It's like, how many pounds? If Earl is saying I had to lose 35, which means he was 182 to fight at 147, well, how much is Jermell Charlo when it's time to come into camp to fight at 54? Just saying.
Jermell has a loss on his record.
Yeah, to Tony Harrison, who outboxed him. So again, Crawford fans will be like, well, wait a minute. Harrison's been knocked out by Willie Nelson. Harrison's been knocked out by Jarrett Hurd. Harrison's been knocked out by Jermell Charlo. And he was outboxing Jermell Charlo. He's not as good a boxer as Crawford. He can't switch like Crawford, but he's long like Crawford. He's tall like Crawford. So, listen, I just wish that it was as easy as we make it sound with the television, or rather, not the television, with the Twitter. It's like, oh yeah, that fight, this fight, that sounds good, because it does sound good. I would love to get an announcement that Jermell Charlo and Terrence Crawford are fighting. Like, that's dope. That's a left field type of fight that we were not expecting, that does a lot for both men. It does a lot. I could see the press conference with the way both men talk. I mean, Earl will be at hand because he's part of that camp. Derek James, part of that camp, right? And what's Terrence Crawford say? I'm convinced that Derek James don't know shit about boxing, is what Crawford's saying, because he feel like Derek James keeps pushing the Earl Spence, Terrence Crawford fight further and further away, saying it needs things like marination, where he wants the Earl fight right now. So it'll be perfect. Like, yo, good. Yo, Derek, how long you gonna hire Earl from me? I'm gonna whoop Charlo's ass, then I'm coming for him. That could be how it goes, It could, because what I said earlier this week is true. Crawford needs the antagonist, but once he has him, he lets out a whole nother side of him. So Jermell is that guy. He says he's a lion. Crawford says, "Well, I'm the king of the jungle." That's what we need. Snappy, quick, witty responses. Not 2 weeks it takes you to say something and that shit is whack. No, these two guys together. Actually, we should read the stuff. Let me go ahead and pull it up on Twitter while you give me some feedback to all that, because I was a word. I was a mouthful. I just wanted to give you info.
Go ahead, look it up. Then Mario, then it'll be like what we spoke about today, a trainer in the corner. Excited trainer versus trainer. Bo Mack versus Derek James. Chess, right?
Absolutely.
Look at that. Speaking of Bud, he just posted 2 hours ago. They say if you stay ready, you don't got to get ready. I guess they talking about me, and there's a shadow boxing video that's already got 4,200 views. And, no days off for Bud with the eyes emojis. Just popped open my Twitter. First thing pops up.
Crazy. But yeah, you're absolutely right, Enrique. That dynamic, that added, that added dynamic to the fight makes it even better. But I don't know. Like we all said it at the very beginning. Is this fight likely? Probably not. Okay, but at the same time, this talking is at where we are in this stage, it's going to lead somewhere. Now, I'm not saying specifically with these two, but I think these guys are just getting way too antsy, and they're going to want to come back, and they're going to want to come back in a big way. I don't think anybody's going to do anything stupid. I don't think anybody's going to do anything reckless, but I do think that, a lot of these guys are going to be like, okay, well, who's to say that, we clear up in November and fights start, that this doesn't happen again next year or the year after that. You know what I mean? So you start feeling that pressure. You start feeling that sense of accomplishment that you need, and you start to take fights that, hey, we didn't think were out there, but they most certainly are out there.
So here's the tweet from Jermell Charlo. I'm screen sharing it, not screen sharing it, screen sharing it, and it says, "You know what it is. I'ma let you make it. I think you a cool fight, but don't bite off more than you can chew. Lions only, different. And honestly, I personally believe you cannot fuck with EJ. Retweet that. Huh?" So then Terrence said, because Terrence said, "Keep my name out your mouth." So then Terrence comes back and he says, what's kind of emoji is that? Oh, that's the emoji.
Yeah.
He's like, "You shall see, but don't make me show you who the real king of the jungle is, because it ain't no lion." I wonder what that means. Who, the gorilla then? What's badder than the lion in the jungle?
I don't know. The lion is known as
It gotta be the gorilla. And
Rhino.
King Kong,
The Rhino?
King Kong beat everything, so it gotta be the gorilla.
Nah, champ. It's
The
man, dog. Man's alpha weapon in this earth, champ. So the hunter is gonna go hunting. Charlo's gonna be too big for him, but like if he's smart, which he's a hunter, he's smart and he puts those punches in the right place with that long ass range he got, he could definitely. I'm not saying he'll knock him out, but he'll pepper the shit out of him throughout the whole 12.
Let me finish up the quote. He says, but carry on, like I said, keep my name out your mouth, because when you see me, it's what's up with this and what's up with that. Stop faking for attention. See, I like that too. He always say stuff like that. Like, his beefs be pretty real. But look, let me go back to him. He like, bruh, stop telling me to keep my name out your stop telling me to keep your name out my mouth. There's only one way to do that, all right? Like I said, you cool boxer, I'm going to pretend you didn't mention me. But hey, man, But hey, man, say, man, I got time. But believe me, when them lions at your neck, please don't retreat. Then look at the little GIF. Throwing up, he throwing up big B's on them.
Oh man.
Yo, I want this, yo. I
Not
want
good.
this even for a little bit, yo. I promise you. It's cause Charlo got the right energy, man. And that's what I need entertainment. I'm WWE, man. I grew up on Ultimate Warrior. I grew up on Hulk Hogan. Give me entertainment, man. And that was entertainment, man. He turned around like, throwing up gay. I wonder what was that, because I know they go with like OBH, so was he throwing up OBH or some shit? I don't know. Hilarious.
Well, the last tweet Jermell had that was right after that. Oh no, I'm sorry. That wasn't to. No, never mind. That wasn't to. That wasn't to Bud. But yeah, those are some harsh words for real. Those are some harsh words, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, we get used to these kind of words. We get used to this kind of thing, but it's a different climate right now. So, you know, somebody says to me like, yo, you're always giving me dap and now you're talking shit. Like, I'm like, oh, it's like that now. Okay, well, you know what I mean? So it starts to build. The animosity starts to create itself. But at the end of the day, whether this fight goes nowhere, this is still helping the Spence fight. It's still building the Spence fight no matter what. You know, and most people that see this are probably not thinking, oh shit, I can't wait to see, you know, Jermell and Crawford. They're saying, oh shit, now I can't even wait to see Crawford and Spence even more now. Now everybody's getting involved. Now everybody's putting their 2 cents in. Now everybody, you know, is kind of jumping on the trains, you know, who's right, who's wrong, you know, who you picking. It's a pick 'em fight, and that's what we love.
Yo, like if he's able to beat you know, Spence, I totally see him going up to 154 and like doing some damage too, just because like, you know, they spar all the time, and you know, Earl's usually like, you know, giving these guys real competition, and they hold them in high esteem. So it's like I'd like to see the Earl first, man. And I mean, I'm not mad at it if it does happen, but like, I mean, do you beat Jermell Charlo, take a title, and then go back down, vacate the title? Like, what would you do? What would you do?
It gets too muddy. That's what I'm saying is like, would I like to see the fight? Yes. But if it meant costing us the Spence fight, then no. I'd rather wait another year and a half for Spence than to get Crawford and Jermell tomorrow. You know, so I think there's going to be time for it all. I really do. I think there's going to be time for it all. But right now, there's one fight on the hearts of every fight fan, and that's Spence Crawford, and nothing should derail that. You know what I mean? We've seen that too much. You know what I mean? We've seen it too much in the past. Gamboa Lopez, you know, Wilder, AJ, you know, Pacquiao Mayweather. You know, these guys wait, and then one ends up losing, or somebody gets in a car wreck, or whatever. Something happens. You know what I mean? And it pushes back the fight, or the fight never happens. And that's definitely I wouldn't want that.
Super chat from Trenton Jones says hashtag send the contract. Charlo sleeps Bud. Thurman wins via decision. Pick your poison. Trenton Jones, stand up. Looks like we're gonna not get Gilberto. I don't know. I just called his number and it ain't working. So I hit him up on the DMs.
No service out there.
Yeah. Stay on that, all right? Because I sent him a message on Instagram, and
what?
We'll
is he calling in?
No.
Okay.
We'll connect on. I mean, do me to stay on the back end of Instagram.
Oh, okay. My bad. I thought you meant to look at the numbers.
Damn, that sucks. I wonder if because I hate when people are late, because then it ruins the next one. You know, Cambroso's all the way in Australia, and you know, rather than call you guys unprepared, I'll let you know some good stuff about Cambroso and what's going on. Since you know, you didn't put that as a topic, you weasel. No. I don't mean that in a bad way, right? That's like just a throwback to McGregor and Espinoza. But remember, I wanted to talk about Teofimo.
Remember that shit?
Teofimo Lopez coming out and saying...
Yeah, I texted you at the bottom. I said, hey, I forgot to put it in there because I couldn't find the quotes. I found the
It's in the article. It's in that article by the Boxing 24, but it doesn't matter. We'll talk about it anyway.
Okay.
But it is about article on Boxing News 24. Obviously, their quotes always come from like Fight Hub videos and Radio Raheem videos, IFL videos. And this time it came from the Christina Pancha interview with Teofimo Lopez, where Teofimo Lopez is either with Christina Pancha or with Fight Hype. But he revealed that the holdup is that Vasyl Lomachenko wants $7 to $8 million and doesn't want to fight in New York City. And I'm just like, bro, like, when is the people going to say this man's ducking? First, the fight was always supposed to be in New York. Teofimo gets a knockout. All of a sudden, New York is Teofimo's hometown. First, the fight was always supposed to happen. Teofimo gets a knockout. Now my man want life-changing money in case he gets knocked out. You got to start believing that he ducked Haney. He didn't want no sauce with Haney because Haney's a natural 135-pounder. Now, to get any sort of sauce with Teofimo, he want $8 million, neutral ground. Like, he's becoming worse than Miguel Cotto right now. I'm just saying. What the hell is going on, and what's your thoughts on that?
I mean, I know him as being a Madison Square Garden fighter, you know, so I don't understand why outside of New York he fills it up himself. When he fought Linares there were whatever his background is. Was he Polish, Ukrainian? What is he? Ukrainian. So Ukraine stepped up. So why go somewhere else?
Because he's seen the reception that Teofimo got when he landed that right hand in New York. And then the first interview he did in his own native tongue, he says, well, New York City adapted him. That's his hometown, you know?
So specifically, Teofimo said this right here. You're talking about a fighter that is pretty much worn out, said Lopez on Lomachenko. He's on his way out, and he's trying to get a good check for this fight. I guarantee you that. He's trying to get 7 to 8 million, triple of what he's worth. I don't give a F about this guy. Give me the 3 belts that are actually mine, and I'm going to earn them by beating him. I know I'm going to win. That's always a for sure. My dad has been in that man's head since 2018. So those are really, strong words. But yeah, look, there's no way Loma can get out of this. He can't. I mean, he can, but he can't. He can't. I'm sorry. I don't see anybody staying on that bandwagon. I mean, okay, I'm sorry. No, there are definitely fans out there that'll stay on any bandwagon. But I think that the majority of boxing will look at this, especially after I don't want to call it controversy, but whatever, especially what happened with Devin. I think that when you apply the same type of optics to this fight, and this matchup, and specifically because both fighters are on record saying it was going to happen. Both fighters are on record saying that they were ready. Both fighters are on record saying that they were preparing for each other. Specifically Loma. Loma came to camp, right before this thing hit. He was in camp, 4 or 5 days, maybe a week before, they started shutting down gyms and stuff. So, and he's on record saying that he was in camp getting ready for Teofimo. So there's no way he can dodge this fight. He can't do it. And I don't think he does. I really don't.
Who else is out there for him?
Well, that's why I brought this up,
That'll give him
because
$7-8 million. Exactly.
No,
that's
anybody besides Teofimo.
Well, what's gonna happen is it sounds like Vasyl won't fight because negotiations, and Teofimo's gonna move on and fight George Cambroso. He's a Peter Kahn managed fighter. He's trained out of the wild card for many, many years. He's most known, obviously, for sparring with Manny Pacquiao, but he hasn't had that career-defining fight. He's undefeated, though. It's a good fight for Teofimo as an undefeated, champion with your first defense. I mean, he's only got 12 fights, Teofimo, 15 fights. So to fight a 19, 20-0 Cambroso is not bad. I'll Google him and see where he's at. But
Cambroso is 18-0 with 10 knockouts. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he fought Mickey Bay last.
And he's number 3 in the IBF, which is obviously the sanctioning body that Teofimo has. There's no number 2. There's no number 1. So it makes sense.
They have him on the docket for Lee Selby on
July. Yeah, no.
11th.
Absolutely. Listen,
I thought the fight was postponed.
I know what to do. I'll bring you guys up to speed. This is why I like stalking the fighters on Instagram or any social media. But I do that so that, our listeners don't have to. But check it out. He did it all himself right here on this interview that I watched. And I'll just try and play with the audio because there's no audio functions on frickin' desktop mode.
I think I'm playing chess. I see it.
Okay, so there is some audio functions here with this particular video.
Young, hungry fighter, man. Explosive, very similar to my style, and has that hunger. And again, I know that him and Lomachenko were set. Obviously, my fight against Selby is for the Eliminator to become the mentor to their title, which will be all the belts. But again, he is having issues and problems with the Lomachenko fight. So at the moment, he's looking at possibly the Lomachenko fight might not happen. And he mentioned our name straight away.
Said that we want to fight Loma for all the belts, and that's our goal. Whether it happens or not, it's on him, and we're ready for whatever, And if that doesn't happen, we'll defend the title. Could be with your guy, George Kambosos.
And this is not.
You see, now look, that could have been well done. George is managed by Peter Khan. It's like the story that we've been painting here. One day we'll be managing, right? And he writes for Forbes. He was a writer, and now he's a podcaster, but he's still a manager. He gets it. And that's not his only fighter, Cambroso. Peter Khan has been doing very well for himself. Congratulations to him are definitely in order. He Enrique's ears will flip up like a dog now because he also manages Amir Iman. He also manages, for us hardcores and top-ranked fans, he manages the young Puerto Rican Xander Zayas. He has quite a few fighters with some good talent, but Cambroso, the one that is kind of on the brink. You know what I mean? Even a good loss to Lopez is good for Cambroso at this point because it will be a title shot. We're going to get him on the show. He is scheduled for Selby, but like you heard in the audio, Teofimo saying his name. So why would you fight Selby non-title when they're offering you a title?
Here's the one thing that we have to look at. First of all, Lomachenko is benefiting, and that's probably an ugly word, but you'll get what I'm saying. He's benefiting from the current state of the world. He doesn't. He can come out and just say, "Well, no one's fighting. What are you talking about? I'm not turning down any fights. No one's fighting. What are you talking about? You want a contract for when? When? Give me the date. What's the date? Oh, you can't give me a date. Okay, well then guess what? I'm not dodging." So he has that excuse. He has that, that to fall back on. Time makes fights. We've seen that, right? We saw that with Mayweather Pacquiao. Time will produce fights. And is there enough time between now and everything that's going on and when we get back to boxing to make this fight happen? It's still a possibility. But it's a bad look. It's such a bad look if this guy lets this fight slip away. If Teofimo ends up fighting Cambrosos, I don't know. I can't rock with Lomachenko until I don't even know until when. I mean, it's just.
Well, you're right. You're right. What if it's the COVID just stopping it? There's no date. There's no venue.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's not date and venue. It's not date and venue. My man don't want to agree to a purse. He don't want to agree to a venue.
Oh, agree to a purse only?
I mean, he wants 7 to 8 mil.
I mean, this would be.
Look, I get that for the I get that for the welterweight division, but what the hell makes him think 7 to 8 mil for him? He's wilding. Like, think about it. His division is Gervonta's, Haney's, Ryan. Who else is making 7 to 8 mil out there? And okay, he could be the first. So how many pay-per-views he sold? How many millions of views is he doing to even ask for 7 to 8 mil?
I think that's a starting point. I think that's a starting point. They obviously going to negotiate that down to 4 or 5. It'll be his biggest payday to date. I kind of feel him because he's putting it all on the line. Look, Vasil took the fast track. He beat the guys he needed to beat. He is where he is now. He did it all, and he could lose it all in a flash too, especially
Gary Russell.
You know what I'm saying? He fought Gary.
He fought him, but he never gave him a rematch. Gary been calling him out just as long as he calling everyone else out.
But Vasil, like I said, as quick as he gained it, he can lose it now to a guy like Tio. So I can see why Aegis is pushing for this type of bread. You know what I mean? And again, it's a starting point. Is he gonna get the 7? Who knows? If the things are put in the right place and everything's looking good and everybody's got a hand in the bag, it could happen too. I mean, look, man, he's been entertaining. He's been doing his thing, and if he beats Teofimo Lopez, come on, he's beating a champ and a guy who's young and is supposed to be the future of the sport. So it's like him kind of halting careers at this point. You know what I'm saying? If he fights all these young guys and he's stopping them.
Yeah, they still liking that Charlo thing, that Charlo Bud, because I'm telling you, that puts Bud at a lot of risk. You know, Charlo got a lot of knockout power, a lot of knockouts, locked out a lot of natural 154-pound. Very dangerous fight. I don't think it's enough money, but if it can be received like Kell Brook and Gennady, you see those fights that are super fights, that are out of weight fights, they come out of nowhere and the public gets like wowed by them.
But a lot of people didn't give Kell Brook a chance. And,
but it was big as hell. That shit did over 400.
It was big as hell.
And it sold over 400,000 pay-per-views over there, and it was a big fight for us over here. I remember watching that fight, even my live reaction. That uppercut at Kell Brook had me souped up because I never believed in Gennady like that. I was waiting for somebody to knock him over.
Look, and in this case with Crawford, he's supposed to win. You know?
Yeah, but he's up against a puncher. He's up against a puncher.
Yeah, rough and tough.
Hey, yo, and then the selling point is that he's in there with the mind of the guy that he really wants.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So if he destroys Charlo, let's just say,
then they're gonna duck Earl for life.
Numbering him. Yeah, he
But listen, if he destroys Charlo, and Earl doesn't fight him, that's it. Like, there is like the world knows what's going on. And his profile's gonna raise. Because of Charlo, this is another cross promotion fight. It'll be huge. Like crowbar cast, all that craziness. So I don't know. I think regardless, if he destroys Charlo, the world will know anyway. If you go up and you beat up a 154-pounder that is as skilled as Jermell Charlo, if you're any person, not just Bud, people are going to start calling you, the man in the division.
Does it make the Errol Spence a bigger fight or a lesser fight if he beats
bigger?
Charlo?
It could only make it bigger. Listen, Crawford getting a great name on his resume like Jermell Charlo only makes the fight bigger. Earl fighting Danny and knocking him out only makes the fight bigger. Earl being able to beat Pacquiao makes the fight bigger because now it's all the belts. So it could only get bigger. People don't like marination, but the truth is, Wilder Fury
should be going.
The truth is,
going off the rails.
The truth is, Wilder Fury it gained from marination. The two fights that we cried about, it helped the pay-per-views. It more than doubled. They went from 325, 345 to 750, 850. So they know more than us. We are impatient. I get it. I don't want to wait. But they need those dollars for it to make sense so that we can get these fights.
Switching
Crawford
gears
ran through the #1 junior middleweight and then the #1 welterweight.
He would be the new Floyd.
He would have to go in the list of all time, like somewhere.
I mean, listen.
That sound like butt scouts right now.
I mean, listen. No.
If you would have beat,
no.
Like, man, that's an accomplishment.
Mario, come back in and out because you're not showing up on the camera. So, no, listen. You're right. You probably do sound like a buzz scout. Me too, because it still would only be like the third name on his resume in terms of like.
Yeah, but it's going up the weight divisions. It's more credit to that.
It is way more credit. That's what I'm saying. It's like that Floyd Mayweather-Oscar move. You know what I'm saying? Except that's how Crawford and his team, like, man, he ain't no fucking De La Hoya. Like, we ain't going up for that motherfucker.
And then Crawford could see, Mikey, that's how you do it.
True.
Yo, speaking of fights falling through the cracks, if y'all want to switch gears to Joshua. And trying to keep it over there across the pond. I already know what's going on. You know what's going on. all of us on the panel know what's going on. They want it all over there in the UK. And
well, the quote is, it would be amazing to tell Pulev it's best if you step aside and tell Wilder enjoy your Alabama chicken while we get cracking in the UK. That fight needs to happen. There will never be another time like this again. Yo, if AJ wasn't black, just saying though.
Yeah,
trying to clown my boy.
Word is born, bro. Like, I don't understand the humor. UK humor is mad disrespectful, but it is what it is.
And he African
We disrespectful too. So we can't get hypersensitive.
You know why he's saying chicken? Because Billy Saunders threw that chicken. That's a low blow.
I guess.
Yo, what if his Twitter manager is a white dude?
Chill, champ. He gotta handle that shit on his own.
Shit, I would hope he'd fire him at that point.
Oh. First of all, Wilder on that PBC podcast was mentioned he's not working out. He's not even entertaining.
Right, he's got he's recovering a bicep injury.
No, I know. I'm saying he's not even entertaining the tantics that Bob Arum's throwing out there and AJ trying to step aside Pulev to get Wilder to step aside as well. That shit makes zero sense, to me. From Wilder's energy on his interview.
Yeah, look, bottom line is Fury's number one right now. That's just the there's no getting around that. You know what I mean? Like Wilder lost, Joshua lost, like we are where we are. That said, though,
it's so funny that today you're choosing that route. Remember the other day we argued till our face turned blue and you tried to tell me that AJ somehow was number one?
First of all, I didn't say that. I said that to get a number one that undisputed would prove ultimately who's number one in a major way, not just right now, but like it would also help us to clarify, where these guys stand in the annals of history, right? So I think if you look at it, it makes more sense right now than the Wilder fight. It does. But that said, like, what are you offering at this point? Like, what is Joshua offering? Because anything he can try to use to convince Fury to take the fight now, it's still there after the Wilder fight, assuming he wins, of course, assuming he wins. And, and that might be like a big concern for Joshua is like, yo, we can make this Fury fight. I don't know about that Wilder fight. If Wilder beats him in the third fight, where does that leave me? So, he's not thinking of Fury. He's thinking of himself.
You forgot that other quote that Anthony Joshua tweeted.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
Come fight me if you really want to say you're number one. Come fight me. Let's get it on. One dominant figure in the division will become the undisputed. To prove yourself as number one, I have to fight Fury. He has to fight Joshua.
Yo, let me say this. Let me say this. We gotta add George, even though we could go another 8, but he's ready. But after listening to Wilder on the podcast today with PBC.
Right.
Since he said what he said, my reaction is, I know he said he don't want the step aside money. I know he made a firm stance. You can hear it in his voice. But if you bring in 2 people in the way that he said he's bringing an old face in that's always been there, which I said to myself, maybe that's Russ Abner. That's the only other coach that's been there, in and out, and, has always been that kind of thing. So, I don't know. Then he's bringing in a new face. Plus, he's saying once COVID is over, he's going to see George. Why rush it? Bob has already went on record with us saying that he could give Wilder a contract that he faces the winner. All he has to do is make sure that Eddie also signs that contract stating that if AJ wins, AJ must fight Wilder. Because Bob is already saying if Tyson beats AJ, I'll give you a contract that says you get to fight Fury after AJ. So why not take it the same way we telling Andy Ruiz to take a tune-up and go ahead and soak some shit in with your new trainer? Why not Wilder do the same and let these dudes do undisputed so that you get a shot at all the belts? But I can see why you say no, because you're going to go into that negotiation as a B-side. So your contract will be a B-side. You'll probably get 40% in the unification, or maybe even less, because now it's like you don't want your immediate rematch. You want to go rebuild. I'm going to go unify, undispute. I'm not giving you 40-60. Now you got to get that undisputed fight for 70-30. You know, because that negotiations, that's where it gets ugly. So it is a possibility he could do that.
Yeah, I'd rather him go right into the Fury fight. You know, he's mentioned himself on that PBC podcast. He was like, he doesn't consider Fury a champion. He has one fight left on the contract, which is that third fight against him, Wilder. So he's not even entertaining to me, unless you saw an extended version of that or some other behind the scenes, not what's the word I'm looking for? Not
who's not entertaining?
Deontay Wilder didn't even entertain anything on that podcast about stepping aside.
I know. He said no right away
on that contract.
Yeah, he said he's not a champion yet because there's still one fight. No, I know right away he said that he's not taking a step aside. What I'm saying is, being as though that he said he's going to get a new look in the camp, is going to be one or two people. Definitely said two people.
Yeah, he said two people. He'll let that be known soon.
Yeah, I'm saying, the same way we want Andy to get some time with whatever.
It's kind of hard though, right? And that's like with this whole COVID thing, to try to time it out to a place where we can say like, all right, I'm gonna fight you at this time. Like, I see like us still in the air because we're not gonna get a solid time on when it can happen.
What are you talking about? We were talking about him entertaining the fact of stepping aside so that the Fury fight happens.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, why does he need to step aside when we still don't know how long it's gonna take? You know what I'm saying? Like,
to make that fight happen, to allow AJ.
Allow AJ and Fury so that he gets an opportunity at all the belts after a tune-up with a new training camp. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, there is a business angle there, but the economics, we won't know. We won't know if they try to lowball him for taking for stepping aside. You feel me? Right now, the rematch is 60-40, but it's only the WBC in the ring. If you step aside and Tyson wins all the belts, are they still giving you 40%? That's what I'm saying.
I'm just afraid of them leaving it all out there. And I mean, it's contractual, right? He has to get the third fight. Is there any way that fight doesn't happen? Is there anything that can break that contract besides, Deontay Wilder saying, yeah, besides him just saying I'm gonna step aside?
That'll break the contract.
Is there an extension on the contract that says, all right, well, you were supposed to fight within this amount of time?
You asking way too many details. We never privy to. We never privy to extension. Like, those are all little leaks, and we're like, oh wow, there's an extension.
Yeah,
come on.
Wilder just said we are set the fight end of this year. That's it.
Yeah,
I just don't want it to slip Wilder, and then they keep it on the other side. I guess that's my.
What you mean?
Like, let's say they went ahead and they just it kind of dragged. Okay, I took the step aside, and now it dragged. And then there was some type of fucking minuscule clause where it said, like, it's supposed to happen within this time, this rematch that we agreed to, and it didn't happen, so now it's void, and now we're just not going to give you the fight, and we're going to kind of, like,
George
wait on
should
it
be jumping on. I sent them the link, so he should be jumping on right here with us, right on screens via Skype, which makes it even better. Hopefully it works out. But
2 minutes, right?
He might be jumping on. I sent them the.
He's on there, right now.
All right, George Cambroso, how are you, brother?
Good, man. Good. Just here in Sydney, Australia, doing my thing.
All right, brother. Well, thank you, obviously, for calling in and taking out the time to talk a little bit of boxing with us. So we'll jump straight into it, man. We just heard your interview that you posted with Peter Khan and the Fight Guys. And, it was on your Instagram, and you spoke about why you feel there's a possibility you might fill in for Vasil and get the Teofimo Lopez fight. So if you could just bring us up to speed.
Well, look, I'm fighting Selby, right, for the eliminator to become the mandatory to the winner of Lomachenko Lopez. So we all were focused on Selby, and I'm 110% still focused on him. But again, Lopez has gone and called our name out. He's the one that's gone on and said that if Lomachenko wants to muck around and make this difficult, then I'm just going to obviously look at a possible different fight. And he mentioned our name straight away. So, look, I responded. I said, of course, no problem. I'm fighting Selby for the opportunity to fight one of these guys. So, let's do it right now if you want to do that.
So obviously, I don't want you to get in anyone's pockets, and you're fighting for legacy, and obviously to feed your family. But Teofimo's gone out and publicly said that the holdup is two things. Vasil no longer wants it in New York. He feels that the crowd has adapted Teofimo, and that'll be Teofimo's hometown. And Teofimo's also saying that Vasil wants $7 to $8 million. Do you think Vasil's outpricing himself? Now, this is your division, and, if you get all the belts, maybe one day you want $7 to $8 million, but do you think right now he's outpricing himself?
Look, to be honest, I don't think he's worth $7 to $8 million. And what he brings to the table, he's got the belts, he's got the accolades of, two-time Olympic gold medalist and all them amateur fights, but does he sell? Does he fill out, arenas? Does he do massive pay-per-view numbers? I don't know. You tell me. I don't think so. So I don't see where that money's coming from. Is he outpricing himself? Maybe. Maybe he's looking at something else. But if he doesn't want to fight, then hey, you got a guy here in Sydney, Australia. Got no problem. I'll do it at MSG. I fought at MSG. I beat Mickey Bay in his hometown. I'm ready to go. Obviously, fight Lee Selby. 110% focus on that to get the opportunity to fight one of these guys in his backyard. So I've got no problem fighting anyone in their backyard.
Hey, George, real quick, let me squeeze in there. Mario Munguia, by the way, thank you for joining us. Listen, okay, so I hear what you're saying, and I absolutely agree. And I would think it would be such bullshit if, Lomachenko makes the terms difficult and that fight doesn't happen. But let me ask you, if you were to fight Teofimo or whoever, let's say the rest of the weight class goes on without him, do you think you could realistically, and I'm talking about the full division, you, Teofimo, everybody, can y'all move on without him though? Like at some point, somebody's got to fight him still, right? He's still thought of as pound for pound. He's still thought of as king of the division. So eventually, I mean, you can't not have him on your resume and call yourself the king of that division, correct? Or am I wrong?
No, I think because he's got the belts, right, so he has to fight, or else he's going to get stripped, and all them belts are going to obviously get moved to be fought for by other guys. So at the end of the day, our name was mentioned a couple of months ago to fight Lomachenko as well. Bob Arum went out on record saying that he's looking to make Lomachenko versus Kambosos here in Australia. Look, we can fill out massive stadiums here. I've got a massive fan base here in Australia. I've got a massive fan base, building over in the world, on the international scene. So, that's another opportunity. Look, if Lomachenko is going to fight Lopez, well, he needs to fight somebody. So we're able to adapt. We're able to fight anybody. If it's Lopez, Lomachenko. But like I said, we're fully focused on Lee Selby, going to his backyard and taking him out. But if Lomachenko doesn't want to fight anybody, I don't know why. I don't know what the issue is. But he hasn't been in the ring for nearly a year.
And real quick, let me just clear this up. So the Selby fight, everything's on for now. You haven't heard any words of postponement, nothing like that. Right now, it's still straight ahead.
Yeah, July 11th is the date.
Awesome.
Obviously, we had May 9th. That got postponed. But July 11th is the date. I'm in Sydney, Australia. Obviously, the whole world is in quarantine. He's in quarantine. I'm in, obviously, quarantine, self-isolation. So I'm very fortunate. I've got a beautiful gym here in my home. I'm training extremely hard every single day, 2-3 times a day. Nothing changes for me. I've just adapted to the situation. And, July 11th is the date. If anything changes, then I'll be prepared to fight him any day. And I'll fight him whatever time, whatever date, any place, anywhere. As long as, that position to become world number one and the mandatory for my title.
George, how you doing? It's Alex here. And, being laser focused with Lee Selby right now, I was Mario kind of asked the question for me. How have you been training with the this whole COVID? How are you maintaining? Sparring is very important. Is there something that you're doing in substitution for that? Do you have guys that are coming in that are basically not infected with the virus? Like, what are you doing? Because we get different feedback from different fighters. Some are able to keep sparring, some are not. What's your situation?
Well, look, I was in Miami. I was preparing in Miami. I flew all the way out to Miami to my head coach, Javier Centeno. That's where I do my camps. So I make the sacrifices to go all the way to the US and prepare over there. That's what I've been doing for the last, 5, 6, 7 fights. And that's where I'm at right now in my career and the reason where I'm at. But unfortunately, COVID-19 took over the world and I had my family with me. So I was, the most important thing was to get back home to Australia and make sure that they were safe. At that stage, I wasn't even worried about the fight or anything. So, look, I got a great gym. Like I said, I got a fantastic gym. I have great coaches around me. They're checking on what I'm doing. They're sending me different programs. But I'm the kind of fighter that, I'm always in the gym. I'm always training. I'm always in my home gym. I'm always at the boxing gym. 2-3 times a day. I'm on the road. I'm just adapting to the situation physically and mentally. I'm just as good as, any time, any place, it's it doesn't really matter to me. I do have guys coming in that I know that are definitely not infected by the virus. So they're doing some pad work with me. We're doing a bit of movement. So again, I'm staying sharp. I'm keeping my tools sharp. And, that July 11th date, will be, it's what we're focusing on. But again, I feel it's only fair that Selby has a full 8 weeks and I have a full 8 weeks in camp in a boxing gym. I don't want no excuses. When I knock this guy out, I don't want him to say, "Oh, I aged too much," or I was at home too long and I got stuck with the COVID. No, I want him to have a full 8 weeks. I want the best Lee Selby. You got to think this guy was the king of the featherweights. He ruled the featherweight division for a while. He defended that IBF title for 5, 6 defenses. So we want the best Lee Selby. Just like when I fought Mickey Bay, I know he had a fantastic camp. He was Combi's main sparring partner. He was in the gym non-stop. We wanted the best Mickey Bay there, and obviously we want the best Lee Selby. And you got to look what I'm doing. On the world scene now, I'm fighting former world champions. I'm fighting them in their backyards. When I beat Lee Selby, there'll be 2 former world champions in their backyards back to back. You tell me I'm not ready for a world title?
George, Enrique Church here. How you doing, bro?
Cool, man.
All right, cool. So I see you got a heavy bag in the background. You say you got people coming over you hitting the mitts, and you're probably running hitting road as well. Don't you believe Lee Selby's doing the same? He's got people coming in. He's antsy to get out of quarantine and get it on as well. So are you expecting a really top-notch Lee Selby for yourself?
Look, whatever he's doing, doesn't bother me. I'm the competition. I'm the young gun coming through. You got to be watching what I'm doing. Whatever he's doing, it doesn't matter to me. But like I said, I want the best Lee Selby. I hope he's putting in the work. I hope he's doing the hard work. I want him to be at 110%. I don't want no excuses. Again, we're fighting in front of his hometown. Give your hometown fans, a fight. Stand in the middle and let's fight. It's not going to be a boring fight. These guys are going to be craving boxing. They're going to want action. You look at a lot of his fans, they know what he's about. He's a boring fighter. And my style is excitement. I want to fight. I want to bang it out. And look, if he's going to run, no problem. We'll cut him down. We're a very smart, aggressive, boxer. But I'm a counter-puncher boxer too. I'll take my time and I'll break him down like I've done with the Mickey Bay fight. So, look, whatever he's doing is on him. I know what I'm doing. I know how hard I'm working, throughout this, obviously, quarantine period. And that's the difference where a lot of fighters are going to stuff up now. A lot of guys are going to think this is a holiday. This is a time for us to relax and eat and slack off on the gym. Now, for me, nothing really changed. I just adapt, to the situation. And, when I come back and when the world does come back, you'll see, obviously, guys like myself are going to be still sharp and at top notch. And some guys are going to fall off and you think, okay, what happened? Well, they didn't put in the hard work. And I hope Selby is putting the hard work.
George, let me real quick clarify something. Have there been any talks about COVID testing for the fight, and if not, are you going to insist on it, or is it something like that? Once you get there, it's kind of it doesn't matter.
No, at the moment, no, I haven't heard nothing. That's up to Eddie Hearn. He's the promoter. He's promoting the show. That's up to him what he wants to do. Like I said, as long as it's me and Selby in that ring, I don't care if it's behind closed doors. I don't care if there's 100 tests. Whatever they want to do, let's do it. As long as it's me and him in that ring, I'm thriving on this fight. I need this fight. I've worked so hard. I fought on undercards. I've fought, all around the world. I've been Pacquiao's main sparring partner fighting on his undercard. So it's time for me to shine. I'm finally headlining. I'm the headline. I'm the high-rated guy here. Yeah, it's in his hometown, but so many UK fans are hitting me up and saying, man, we're coming to see you fight. We want to see you fight. They don't care about Selby. So I'm the headline. And finally, it's on DAZN, Sky Sports, obviously DAZN USA. I'm excited. This is the place where I'm meant to be, and I'm going to stay in this position.
George,
Real quick.
Go ahead, Alex.
Yeah, just real quick. Let's just say you get past Lee Selby, and stylistically, what style favors George Kambosos? Teofimo's or Vasil? What style would you want to go up against, and which one do you think you might have to adjust or make certain adjustments?
Look, both styles are great for my style. I'm a sharp shooter, very explosive, strong, powerful, very, very fast. So both styles work great for me. For the fans, I think me and Teofimo is a shootout. It's a great fight. It's a fight where the fight can change any minute. Lomachenko is more of a technical fight. You got to remember that Lomachenko is a southpaw, gives great angles, he moves well. But I've done over 250 rounds with Pacquiao. So I can adjust to any southpaw, any rounds, any work that he's going to bring, whatever he's going to bring to the table. It's no problem. I was with Pacquiao, and I brought him back for the Matisse fight. I brought him back for the Broner fight. But I kept him young. So at the end of the day, there's no problem with whatever man stands aside, obviously, across from me in that ring. But for the fans, look, the Lopez fight's a shootout. I love that fight. But, for legacy-wise, look, Lomachenko's a man right now. So you got to like that fight more. For me personally, I like that fight. But it doesn't really matter to me.
So, George, can you tell me, in your opinion, did you feel Pacquiao won that Horn fight? I know you prepared him for the Horn fight as well. You was his lead sparring partner there. I'm sure you got to watch that one in person. What did you think?
Look, I think Pacquiao as the champion, it was a close fight, don't get me wrong. Very close fight. But as the champion, the close rounds go to the champion. So I think he edged it. I think he done enough. But look, I'm not going to sit here and obviously give Jeff Horn, any stick or any shit. He fought the fight of his life. He gave a great fight. But personally, I thought Pacquiao done enough. But again, that wasn't the Manny Pacquiao that we all know. If the Pacquiao that prepared for Matisse, prepared for Broner, was smart with everything, took the right recovery, took the right time off, pushed at stages, then pulled back. The way we prepared for them two fights was totally different. So then he would have taken me out with maybe 5 or 6. But you got to give it to Jeff Horn too. He put a hell of a fight on.
All right. Well, I don't know. You guys got anything else? Because I definitely have still some more. I would love to know the story of you and Peter Kahn. How'd you guys link up? Because honestly, that's how I got put on you. Obviously, the Manny Pacquiao sparring partner helped. You've been doing that for quite many years now, so it's been a long time. But I feel like the connection with Khan is what gave you more of a USA splash. If you could just walk us through it.
Yeah, look, with Peter Kahn, obviously I was sparring Pacquiao, and when we ended up obviously going to Brisbane. I'm from Sydney, but of course I was going to be at the fight. We still had a bit of work to do in Brisbane between me and Pacquiao and some sparring, and obviously Bob Arum actually was there at the sparring. But I got introduced to Peter Kahn, and obviously my father was pretty much advising and managing my career here in Australia and doing a fantastic job. But we wanted to make that American splash. We needed to get to the US. My plan was always to get to the US. I wanted to obviously test myself against the best and get on the big shows and fight in these mega arenas and get to where we're at right now. So we got introduced to Peter Kahn, and one thing led to another. I've heard some great things, and I've seen a few of your fights here on the. Let's see if we can do something. Let's start moving in a few different directions. And before you know, the relationship became great between me and Peter Kahn. He's a fantastic manager. And he's looking after everything in my career. I train, like I said, in Miami. we're in the Javier Centeno Sweatbox gym. And look, Peter Khan lives there. Like, he's 5 minutes away from where we're training. So I get to see, when I'm in camp, I get to spend pretty much every day with him. And it's a really good relationship, and he's doing a great job. And he's got some fantastic fighters. We've got a great stable of fighters. So not only we're training extremely well with a great camp, but we've got great sparring. We've got great fighters around. For my last fight with Mickey Bay, I had Amir Imam and Emmanuel Tago, the world title challenger. Obviously, another main sparring partner. So you can't beat that. You can't beat the sparring. You can't beat the quality that you get. So it's a fantastic relationship.
Let me ask you about that real quick. Go ahead.
Are you no longer with Lou? I thought you were.
No, I'm with Lou.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Lou's my promoter. Yeah, of course. Lou's my promoter, and doing a fantastic job as well. Lou is he doesn't have a massive stable, but he does a fantastic job, and to get me on these different cards and push my name out there, has been great for my career. So when I signed with Lou, I was super excited. Obviously, I made that big splash in my American debut, and I took the guy out within a ring. I started creating a bit of interest. And look, Lou and the whole DeBella team have been big on my whole career, and they're super excited, and they're looking forward to obviously the Selby fight. They know what I'm going to do, and they can't wait for these world title fights, and we become world champion.
George, let me ask you, and this is kind of like for my own personal knowledge. I've always heard that guys bring in different sparring partners to get ready for a fighter. If you're going to fight a guy, well, maybe you're going to use this guy for the speed. Maybe you're going to use this guy for the size, to mimic your the opponent. But I've also heard that Manny Pacquiao is one of the most impossible people to plan for, to get sparring that'll mimic. Do you think that Manny Pacquiao, I'm not going to use the word impossible, but is he the most difficult guy, bar none, to, I guess, prepare for when it comes to like sparring and getting the kind of sparring partners? Like, is there anybody else that can do what he does that can help opponents to get ready for him?
Look, he's so awkward, and obviously he punches so many different angles, super fast. But when we were sparring, I'm super fast, super sharp, moved great, and man, we just gelled. That sparring was unbelievable between both of us. Back and forth sparring. We got to know each other so well over them rounds where, it was like automatic. We're just putting in the work, and we're landing shots, and we're exchanging and moving. People would pay serious dollar to obviously see that kind of sparring. But for his opponents, that's why they struggle with obviously getting the right sparring for a guy like that, because the way he moves, the way he angles off, the way he throws punches in bunches, and it comes down high, and then obviously he's back low and then back up high again like he did against Thurman and put him down. It's just that awkward style and very hard to prepare against.
Absolutely, for sure. Go ahead, Alex.
Yeah, you fought 3 times in New York City. Just curious, which one of the venues was your favorite, Madison Square or at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas?
Look, MSG has that history, you know what I mean? It's as a young fighter, everyone wants to fight at Madison Square Garden. The biggest fights have been there. But then again, MGM, Vegas, the whole Vegas vibe, was unreal. You got to think of also, the main cards. So obviously the MSG fight was, Crawford was the headline. Teofimo Lopez was fighting Commey. Obviously, I had my eyes seriously on that fight as well. So I was very excited for me to make a big splash, and I was fighting, Mickey Bay, a former world champion, a very well-known fighter. But then again, the MGM card was awesome too. You got Pacquiao and Broner. Any fight that Broner's in, not only what he's going to do in the ring, but just the whole antics of everything is fun to be around and see what's going on. So it's a toss-up, both are just fantastic memories. If I had to lean to one, I'd probably obviously pick MSG, New York. That's the most famous arena in the world. So especially being the fight that I had with Mickey Bay, was a well-known guy. So I'd have to lean to the MSG card.
And you said you're training out here in the States, right?
Yep. Yeah, I'm in Miami.
In Florida.
In
Florida.
Yeah.
In Florida.
Yep.
Who's your trainer? Is it your dad?
No. I'm with Javier Centeno. He's got young Xander Zayas making some serious noise.
Yep.
Mira Mom. Chris Van Heerden has also moved over. So it's got some fantastic fighters. And the thing with the gym, it's not just a boxing gym. You know, it's one of the most elite, you know, NFL and baseball facilities in the US, the Bomberitos. You know what I mean? So you're not only getting the best, you know, and fantastic, great boxing, you know, work, but you're getting the best of the best strength condition. You're getting the best facility for recovery. I mean, nutrition, everything is there. It's a fantastic place, you know, for elite fighters. And I thrive on that. I thrive on places like that. And I'm an elite athlete. I'm a professional, you know, every single day. I mean, I love, you know, places like that where I can better myself, become a better fighter, faster fighter, stronger fighter. So I got a fantastic team, fantastic camp, and you know, the thing with all the fighters around us too, there's no egos, there's no oh, look at me or look at that, or I've done this or I've done that. I mean, we're all there working hard, we're all pushing each other, and that's what you want. I mean, you want a great team around you.
Is there a point in George Kambosos' career where he has to really think about moving to the States? Is there ever been a problem with you, you know, going back and forth? You know, I don't know if you have a family, kids, but is that ever an issue for you?
Look, I've already, many times they've told me, look, let's just move over to the US, let's just do it from here. But you know, obviously Sydney's home, Australia's home. I love where I'm from and where I live. Yeah, I do have a family. I've got my two young kids that are under 3, and obviously my partner. You know, I mean, we travel. Obviously, we travel. I bring my whole family with me for the last 2 fights. I bring them with me. I love having them with me. A lot of fighters are old school and just want to be by themselves, but you know, for me, it works best. You know, I mean, you got to work what's best for yourself. Having my family, having my kids after a hard, you know, long day in the gym. You know, I get to see them, and I get to see the reason why I'm working so hard for. So it's crazy. My young daughter, obviously, she's 2.5 years of age, but she's already got to see me fight at obviously MGM and at MSG. I don't know how many boxing, you know, hardcore boxing fans that might be 30, 40 years of age have got to see fights live, you know, at them arenas, and she's like 2.5 years of age. So that's something for her to look back, and I can tell her. But yeah, man, you know, we make the sacrifice, and I have no issue. You know, I still live here in Australia, and we just come in 8-10 weeks before the camp. You know, we put everything on hold here, and I come do my work. Obviously, as the kids get older and they go to school, I'll have to, you know, obviously come over by myself and do my work. But I mean, that's what you got to do, and the sacrifice you got to do.
So, George, normally what we do is we have Patreons. These are some of our most dedicated and most hardcore listeners, guys that know the sport really well, and they give questions. But we didn't do that this time. So I'm going to ask a question I know they want me to ask.
Oh, yeah.
Terrence Crawford versus Earl Spence. Who wins? Why? Break it down.
Oh, man, it's a hell of a fight. That's a fight that I want to see. Especially in the early rounds, you know, puts their statement in there, and you know, who's going to take a step back? Crawford's a good sharp boxer, but he'll put that pressure on there, and obviously Spence likes to come forward and, you know, work the body. I think Spence's size, you know, I mean, could be a factor. But then again, I saw Crawford as well at the obviously I fought on his undercard, and I mean, the man is massive himself. He's a big size, you know, welterweight. I don't know how he ever made lightweight. So it's a toss-up. You know, I think I'd have to lean to Errol Spence. But again, man, it's a hard fight to obviously, you know, to pick. And that's why, as obviously away from me being a fighter, just as a boxing fan as well, that's the fights. That's the fights you want, where you really can't pick a winner. You need these fights. You want to see these fights. And look, hopefully they get it on at some stage.
Yeah, it's a 50-50 for sure. Go ahead, Ness.
No, man, I'm good, man. I'm done. I just want to thank you, obviously, for coming on. I've been wanting to get you on for a while. Me and Peter, you know, I've gotten Xander and Amir and all his guys on. And like I said, I've been hearing about you for quite some time. So I'm excited for the Lee Selby fight, because let me tell you, I picked against him more with my heart with Omar Douglas. He's another friend of the show. He's from Delaware, and we've followed his career. And Selby was moving up for that fight. So Selby does have some dog, man. You got your hands full for sure, because with Douglas, Selby was moving up and still was able to handle Omar Douglas pretty well, who had a very tough fight with Javier Fortuna. So I'm excited for either way you choose, whether they give you the Selby or the Teofimo Lopez or even the Vasil, man. We're excited for you. Happy that you're at number 3 in the IBF. Can't wait to get you back on as soon as you get any information. Obviously, so far, July 17th is still a go, right?
Yeah, July 11th. Yeah,
11th,
that's still a go. But yeah, like you said, man, that's the fights we want. We want them dog fights. We want a war. I love them kind of fights. Look, whoever it is, obviously we're 110% focused on Selby. But whoever stands across me in that ring is got to get it.
All right. Well, George, if you can, please give out any social media so anyone that isn't following you can do so for those that are listening live. And once again, thank you for your time. We truly appreciate it.
For sure. Thank you, guys. Obviously, anyone listening, make sure you go follow me on my Instagram, George Kambosos Jr., Twitter, George Kambosos, and obviously my Facebook page, George Ferocious Kambosos Jr. Obviously, appreciate it, guys, and we'll definitely we'll chat soon again.
All right. Well, thank you. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. George Kambosos Jr. And, yeah, great interview. Good to have him on this show. And like I said, he might get those shots with guys like Teofimo, Vasil. And you never know. That is the Devin Haney division. He's with Lou DiBella. He could end up on DAZN, even though he's with Peter Khan as a manager and has been getting fights with Top Rank. Remember, his last fight was on the Terrence Crawford, Aegis Kavalauskas undercard.
I see that fight going behind with no audience, man, for some reason. If it goes for that date, I don't see it being in an arena.
What's up? So one of y'all touching the mic here. Doomsday?
Yeah, I see you picking on me today, champ.
I'm
Cut
picking
it out.
on you.
I got the mic on.
You need a podcast.
I got the
etiquette,
mic. I got
man.
the mic. I got the mic muted, champ.
So it was Enrique and his beard. One of y'all was wild.
Nah, it wasn't me. I was talking.
It wasn't me.
Maybe my handlebar just.
Enrique took us right to the next topic. Deontay Wilder says Tyson Fury knows that wasn't me. I know that wasn't me. Everyone in boxing knows that wasn't the real Deontay Wilder. I don't see Fury as a champion. He ain't a champion yet. We still got one fight left. Bomb Squad! Nah, but it ain't done. Keep letting yourself down, Deontay Wilder. It's sad. It was you I smashed. That's just the truth. Just admit it and move on. It's just a fight. You win some, you lose some. That's boxing, pal. So this is what we're here to discuss. Wilder finally broke his silence. He came out on a PBC podcast, had a lot to say, but what stuck out to the world is that he said it wasn't him, and he keeps saying, I'm going to reveal it later. So I don't know, guys. It sounds like something happened that night, and we're going to get another reason as to why he didn't perform the way that he performed.
Remember Bomb Squad, Deontay Wilder said when he comes in the ring and he takes that mask off, he ain't even Deontay Wilder no more. Remember that?
Yeah, he is Super Saiyan.
Yep.
Some spiritual. That's what happened, I think. It didn't kick in. It didn't click that night. Somebody,
he ain't power up. That's
somebody did something to him. They lit an incense, the wrong one in the back. Nah, but he seemed humbled, I think, by that fight. But he also is very spiritual. I never heard him say meditation. He said he meditates, So, yeah, I'm thinking like something didn't just click that night, or he had some kind of injury.
This is totally untitled topic, but like I said, we chasing Patreons, not views. I'm gonna have to close this. Yo, I opened up my Cash App. I got the Bitcoin. I'm always checking the Bitcoin. Is it up or down? I just opened up the Cash App, and now they're giving out checking and routing numbers so that if you didn't have a bank account, you can now collect your stimulus check on your Cash App. Bro, this is getting out of hand the way the government wants to help you out with this money. I don't know, man. I'm a little bit scared now.
But Cash App ain't Cash App is not government.
Doggy, the fact that the government reached out to Cash App, which is kind of
can't cash your check at a cashier.
I think that's a good way to help, but I see why the conspiracy theory in you kicked in. You know what I'm saying? It's just more like Hey,
Bro,
take
you don't hear.
advantage of
All I'm saying is you don't hear anybody like I don't know. I might live in the bubble, but like I feel like Cash App is like, you know, like a us thing. That ain't like.
Yeah.
You feel me? That ain't Venmo is like a them thing. This is like a us thing.
Yeah, like Cash App's under the
this
table.
thing of ours.
This is a
Cash
little.
App's under the table.
I just feel like this is a little bit weird right here. That you soon as you open your cat, they talking about if you want to drop your stimulus checks, like whoa man.
Yeah, now you can get taxed. See, I pay my cleaning lady through Cash App. You know, I'm sure she not saying, "Ooh, I made $600 this year off of him, and I'm gonna turn it into the tax because now I gotta pay taxes off of that." So, you know, to me, Cash App is under the table. That might be a trap for those who do business under the table. Other than that,
I wasn't going that route. I'm just saying the fact that the government is
being so nice.
Being
so nice, right?
Yeah, being so nice. The government is telling you, like, yo, since you can't get your stimulus because you ain't got no bank account, we're going to drop it in your Cash App. And Cash App already magically updated their user interface to allow the creation of these, I don't know what, because you needed a bank, bro. Like, they giving you an account number and a routing number now.
See, I wonder how that works, though, because, like, my 2018 information was different than my 2019 information, and they went off the wrong one. So they're cutting me a check. Like, they sent it to the wrong spot, so that bank bounced it back. And what they're saying is now they're going to cut just like a physical check. You know, once the IRS gets it back, they're like, okay, well, you know, this guy didn't get it. We're going to send it to the address he has or whatever.
I ain't going to
So I wonder how that works.
I'm using this. I tried not to do it, right? So when it said it was like continue, and I fucking X'd the whole app out. But it was too late. When I reopened it, now I got a routing and an account number.
I just opened mine. It don't have nothing new.
You probably got to update your app, bro. You know, people like you don't have automatic updates on the apps. The developer's always developing and always on top of things. So that being said, the fact that I am going to use these account numbers. You know how many companies overseas be like, yo, give me your account number and I could pay you that? Like, you bucking. I'm like, you don't accept PayPal? Because PayPal protect me. So I'm probably gonna use these routing and account numbers on Cash App now because I definitely used the Bitcoin. That Bitcoin was huge for me. I love the wallet.
Have y'all gone on the app and seen the information they have for y'all?
What you mean? What information? What app?
I mean, I'm sorry. The website. The website's open right now. You can put in your name.
Though?
Ash, what's the website called? It is no. It's oh man, I thought she was right there. Yeah, it's the website. Just Google stimulus check information or whatever, and the main website that the IRS is using, it has all your information where they're going to send everything, and you can check the status of the check as well. So like that's how I already knew, like I was supposed to already have gotten it.
Oh wait, how do you do that? I'm gonna check.
Hey if you get your stimulus check, don't forget to upgrade your patron.
Isn't
the
it
government
IRS,
threw you a bone. The government threw you a bone. Throw us a bone, B.
Just Google IRS stimulus, and the main website pops up. It did for me just now.
Again,
I checked. I got the most updated Cash App. I already got a banking and routing number connected to it, so that's
yeah. So go put your name in that.
No.
Put your name in the website.
They still give you one, bro. They still give you one.
Yeah, but put your name
I got
in the
my
website.
bank account. I've been had my bank account connected because you need to have money in case you got to send.
Yeah. Listen, go to the IRS website. Just put IRS stimulus, and then click on the website, and it'll give you where to put your name. And I think something else, and then it'll pull you up in the records. It'll show where they're going to send it. It'll show you when it's supposed to get there, and like in my personal, they showed me that we sent it, bounced back, cutting you a check. So
Guess what, bitch?
Coronavirus. That's how y'all got them checks, baby. Listen, man. let's get back to the boxing though, because I want to open up these phone lines. Look, man, I'm just happy to hear Wilder that he's back. What we did find out is he's recovering from bicep surgery. And we still don't know what's up with coronavirus and when it's gonna stop. So, is this fight happening this year? I don't know. But I'm more excited about the Charlo Terrence beef, even though that's probably less probable out of everything to happen. You know what I mean?
Yo, what up with that Santa Cruz talk though?
Yeah, that's all I was
going towards, because like,
yeah, we could do the Santa Cruz, because you know what? The fact that I love that he's saying I'm not going to 135. He's smart. He's seen it. The Tank already couldn't make 135, and he's the A side. He's the 4th division champ. He's the one that fought Abner and Frampton. He's known. He needs to make Tank come down to 130 and fight for a real belt, not the fake belt Tank has over there. I ain't calling it fake, man, because Chris Colbert got one. You know, it's very hard with these interim fucking belts. I just don't want to even deal with the WBA. I'd rather them get rid of WBA and respect the WBO. You know what I mean? But we can't have 4 belts in the WBA. That shit is whack. But
yeah, that's always been a problem.
Always.
Yeah, listen, it is smart of Leo. Here's the thing. Initially, I read this and I thought to myself, yo, is he playing A-side games like just to get in his head? Like, there's no way that the idea of this fight got so far without a set weight. Like, I just, you know what I mean? Like, it's hard to really believe, because, I mean, I think right now we'd have that promotion set if we were in normal times. So, you know, how does it get that far without having one of the biggest, if not the biggest, hurdle jumped over? So, Leo says that if he doesn't agree to fight him at 130, that he goes for Lomachenko. Not Lomachenko. I'm sorry, Gary Russell instead. You know, and that's the fight we were talking about this morning.
But Gary Russell's trying to go up. So
yeah,
this is where
exactly.
This is where I'm conflicted now. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if he goes up,
Gary's trying to go up, but you know, if Al calls him, says, "Yo, the fight you've been wanting for 7 years is finally here," he's gonna take it.
Exactly. Yeah, because listen, Leo Santa Cruz versus Devin Haney right now. What fight would you want? I would want the Leo Santa Cruz. You know, it's just it's to me more. If
your Gary is more winnable. If you're Gary,
to me, I think that you look at that fight with Leo Santa Cruz and Gary. I think it's a really good fight, and it does a lot for both guys. You know, versus him fighting Tank, he's putting everything on the line. Leo Santa Cruz is. You know what I mean? You lose that fight, I think critics are harsher on you than you lose to Gary Russell. And I could be wrong, but I just think Tank's a young guy. Like, this is, to me, it's Tank setting the apple versus Leo Santa Cruz now coming along and saying, yo, whoa, wait, this ain't your fight, kid. This is my fight. You're going to do what I say, and if you're not, then I'm just going to get another fight.
But, like, the money, though, Santa Cruz gets paid a bigger paycheck with Tank, man. There's got to be a line where he draws and says, you know what?
That is true.
I'm going to have to take the risk for the reward.
Good point.
You know me,
check will be bigger, but you got to think about it. If you Santa Cruz, you're still young. If you and your team think you could beat Gary, the check for Tank is only bigger if you beat Gary and be unified at featherweight before you really be out.
Yeah, that's a great point, because that's the other aspect about it. Assuming Gary stays there, you know, is that fight still a viable option if he goes up, and then was he come back down? Like, does he do that? I don't know, but it seems more like a better plan for him to fight at featherweight against featherweight fighters and then move up.
I say he take. Yeah, look, I'm not gonna say that Tank is Canelo, but he kind of smells of the golden ticket. Like you gonna risk it. You got that scent. You gonna risk it with Gary. Gary put the mittens on you. Now you ain't got the payday. Now Gary got even more positioning now to move up and really be like, yo, I beat the guy you were supposed to fight. You know what I'm saying? It's a tight situation. I'm always the guy that, like, yo, no guts, no glory. Like, if you ain't gonna fight Tank, Tank is not gonna be willing to do that. He's not gonna go down. Who's the
A side in the equation here, in all these equations?
thinking Tank is the A side. You know, he's the
bugging.
star. He's the social media star.
Bumped your head.
I
You
think
bumped your
Leo's
head.
the A side.
Leo's the A side on all the fights, and Leo
Yeah.
gets to pick Tank or Gary. It's his choice. That's why Gary never got the fight.
Yeah, that's a great point.
And another reason, remember we had Richardson Hitchens on. Wow, that last call really hurt my throat. We had Richardson Hitchens on, and he said, "Yo." When we was talking about Leo versus Tank, he said Tank gets mad if you say that he's going to walk through Leo.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I remember he said that. Yep.
You know, he wants you to give him credit for Leo and Leo's accomplishments if and when he fights and beats him. But I think that in itself shows that he is admitting that Leo is the A side, because his defense to his own friend was, he's a 4-division champion. Leo is what.
Yeah, he was pumping him up.
Exactly.
Yeah, look, I can tell you though, I'm not convinced that if Leo would have picked the Gary Russell route, that Tank fight still wouldn't be there for him. I mean, it just depends who Tank gets in the interim. You know what I mean? It depends. Does he get a name as big, if not bigger, or somewhere around that, sort of class as Leo? Well, then, yeah, he don't need Leo no more. But let's assume Leo fights Gary Russell, loses. Leo would still be the biggest name on Tank's resume.
Earthquake said Tank is definitely the A side. You bugging, man. You bugging. How? I get what y'all gonna argue. Y'all gonna argue ticket sales. Y'all gonna argue
all the stuff you hit us with.
You're gonna argue ticket sales.
You be hitting us with that shit. I'll be like, damn.
You're gonna talk Instagram number? No.
He got the Instagram numbers. He got the pay-per-view numbers.
No, he ain't got pay-per-view. He ain't got pay-per-view. He ain't got pay-per-view. He ain't got pay-per-view. And you know his numbers in terms of ticket sales, they're comparable. You know, with Leo, but Leo's more established. Leo's had more ticket sales in terms of more events, more venues, bigger fights. You know,
So who becomes
Leo
the biggest star if they win? Theo or Tank?
Leo fought Abner twice and beat him twice. Leo fought Frampton twice, beat him once. You know, Leo's more established. Leo is more established, and Leo gets to pick. Like, it would never be a situation where Leo says, oh, I can't wait to fight Gervonta Davis, because it's the other way around. You know what I mean? Like, he's the guy.
Well, going back, though, to what Doomy just asked, I think that the misconception, and I don't even know if it's a misconception, I think it's just a conception, is that right now Tank has the higher ceiling and versus Leo Santa Cruz. So when you look at it in that kind of way, it's kind of like the Mayweather Gotti in the back of the day. You know, Gotti was the A side, but in that fight, I remember forgetting he was the A side because Mayweather's potential and his ceiling was just so much higher that it was easy to misunderstand.
You're giving the perfect analogy, because in this situation, Heyman has to convince Leo to fight Tank so that they can create the next superstar. Yep. But it is up to Leo, because Leo is Mikey in this equation for Earl. You get it? You always need,
well
like,
done.
people could lie and say it ain't about race. You always gonna need that Mexican to get you over the top. And if he ain't Mexican, you better hope he white. It's just how it goes, man. It's just how it goes. Floyd, he started with the Italian and Gotti, but it took Oscar. You know what I mean? Canelo is Canelo. So all he got to do is get a Charlo. You know, Floyd told us, I'm following Floyd's blueprint. Put me in there with a Mexican, and we gon' sell it out, because people want to see him lose. And that style is what people are convinced, brings action and can, kind of disrupt people. But yeah, the formula is there. Tank and Leo, Mexican Independence Day. Why you think they mention in those days? Why you think it was maybe Cinco de Mayo? Because they're gonna capitalize.
What's the purse gonna look like?
Definitely ain't no 7 to 9 million. That's for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
It ain't what Basile asking for. That's for sure.
I'm Tank. I'm popular. I got no losses. I'm a champ.
Well, Tank said it on his social media. I think he said this one's gonna be a 7 figures. If you check his Twitter or his Twitter for sure, because he does that on Twitter. If you check his Twitter, I'm sure he don't tweet that much. I'm sure maybe a month ago or 2 weeks ago he said something like 7-figure check coming. Leo is his fight. Leo is his fight, but they haven't convinced Leo. With this interview that Leo just did, they have not convinced Leo. They got to give Leo more money for Tank because he's a harder puncher. And he's going to want more.
Exactly what I was thinking. They got to give him more money for him to be at 135 because if Tank is definitely not, I wouldn't advise it for him to go down to 130. That's not how it works. That's not how the Floyd Mayweather blueprint works. That's the only way
Leo should take that fight. The only way Leo should take that fight because, listen, Leo has to know what we know.
How many ducats is going to take for you to fight him at 135? What kind of payday you looking for? Is it a real bad thing if he loses?
Bruh, Leo just moved up to 30 to win that belt. Why the hell should he move up another division because Tank keep eating? Leo's 4th division world champ. He getting a title every time he move up. Tank is, Burger King and fucking French fries. He got 1 belt. Now they want to call him interim champ. But remember, he only got 1 belt. Like, Leo's a 4-division champ. Like, Tank need to stop rushing up. Leo should not fight at 135 because he just moved up to 130. And he's already skinny as hell. Damn, what they trying to do?
I feel like this fight it was in jeopardy as soon as they put that stipulation there because that's gonna be the whole.
Look, he only had one. Yo, he only had 1 fight at 130. He literally just moved up. So think about it. If anything, he better get a good check because Tank has been at 130. Tank just moved up. And that could be undisciplined. He thought he was fighting Gamboa's old and faded. He ain't take Cam serious. He could take Cam serious and make 130 and be the naturally bigger man because he been fighting at 130. Like, Leo better not be stupid. He better make a business decision and a boxing decision right here because they're going to use his name. Listen, he beats Leo in front of the world. That's the formula for success. Will it translate to that after the fight? I don't know, but possibly. Because Tank is a little, he's a little star. Like, you can see it in him. He got it in him. He got the performance. He's got the attitude,
That's a payday. Definitely a payday.
Definitely
look.
a payday.
I think that's going to come down to,
that's a pay-per-view, too. They're going to try that pay-per-view. I bet you.
Yep, they are. Yep, you're absolutely right.
It's a matter of Tank, man. Tank being super disciplined for this. If he could go down to 130,
again, I do the stalking, so y'all don't have to. I'm gonna have to include your non-research butt in there because if you follow Calvin Ford, they just released a little collage video with Tank training with multiple different. He's got his custom mask on for the coronavirus, and they've been working. He tweeted himself, I've been working with the shh emoji, you know what I mean? And retweeted Calvin Ford's video with all the, footage of them really working. So he's in the gym. Listen, people had plans. Remember, we had plans as a boxing community and then COVID stopped us. So a lot of these guys are being told, you never know when this is going to break, so stay in shape. And he's one of those guys that is in the gym according to his trainer and social media.
Yeah, I was not aware of that.
I'll find it.
I just wonder.
Put it in the pre-pro.
Man, I don't know. It's probably stupid to bring up, but man, I just wonder what would have happened if that Abner Mares fight would have gone through for Tank. Like, where would he be right now? Would he need Leo? Like, what?
I don't know how it was gonna be received with Abner Mares' eye, right? Like, how were we gonna receive it? It's better that everything happened the way that it happened. Abner gets time to rest. He gained some popularity being a co-analyst on PBC on Fox, and he switched trainers. Now he's with Manuel Robles and Estrelita. let's see how that works. Like, yo, when dudes got injuries, I never want to rush them, man, because like,
no, definitely.
it's no need.
No, you're absolutely right. I just meant like, let's assume like, because the fight was scheduled, it was on the docket, and then unfortunately Abner got hurt. If that fight went through, he never got hurt, where would Tank be right now? That's kind of like where I was going with it. But I don't know. It's stupid to assume because obviously it didn't happen. It doesn't matter. It's no use counting, spilt milk or whatever saying you want to use. But yo, listen, I'm down for Tank fighting Leo Santa Cruz at this point, and I'm not saying he has to go to 130. In fact, that's probably a bad move, but I don't know. It's got to be somebody at this point.
Yeah, do we get a pay-per-view with Gary? Do we get a pay-per-view with Gary?
I don't think so.
Nah,
I don't. I don't think so.
No way.
Yeah.
I just can't see it.
I mean, you think people wouldn't be? I think people would be hyped up. I mean,
I'm hyped up for it for sure.
If they do a pay-per-view with Gary, it's solely based off Leo, and they definitely need Cinco de Mayo, but with Tank is way more sellable. Yeah, so his last post says it right there. I've been working on the low, and he got the gorilla. Really good. I reposted it too. So you don't even gotta follow them. I always repost everything that
you do,
that I see out there. So you guys could just follow TBV on Instagram and get all this info. But I posted it in the pre-pro. Yeah, he's been working, man. You gotta follow Calvin Ford, see, because his are gonna be the flashy videos because he's got the following. Ford is the trainer, so it's like he's showing you the grittiness. But let's get to the callers, man. Yeah, I mean, intrigued. The only way to do super chats is to cash at me, champ, and I highlight the comment, baby. I mean, look, it's more personable that way because I give you more than just your little one super chat. You know what I mean? Because we really never know which comment it is. But yeah, let's open up these phone lines. We're gonna run through these last little bit of topics. Let me see here. We talked Joshua Fury, we talked Santa Cruz and Gary Russell, and a little bit of Tank Davis. We got oh man, we can't rush this. I need this in my life. This was pretty interesting to me. I found this little piece of information and I said, well, this is the first time this guy has made me talk about him. Like, I've never felt the need to talk about Sergey Lipyanets.
Yeah.
And he done that. Sergey Lipyanets criticizes Keith one-time Thurman for wanting rematches instead of mentioning his name and the name of Ugas, with the claim that Thurman will eventually be forced to face him. Is there a realistic world where Lipyanets is a must-face opponent? Where is there a world where like Al really tells Thurman like, yo, you gotta face Lipyanets? I forgot who's his manager. Is his manager Vadim? Like, I don't think even his manager is powerful enough for that. Like, he doesn't. He don't got the big time manager.
It was definitely an interesting comment, and he definitely put it in a way that sounded super interesting. But look, I like Lipyanets. I do. I think he's a really great fighter. I don't think he's reached his full potential yet. Like as far as skills and stuff, but I think he's gonna do more in the sport. That's what I'm trying to say. That said, though, I mean, he's gotta understand why Thurman didn't mention his name. He's gotta understand why it was, in his mind, better to mention rematches, as he put it, as opposed to Ugas or Lipyanets. You know what I'm saying? And no disrespect to them. Those are great fighters, and I actually would like to see those fights. But if you're Keith Thurman, not a fan, if you're Keith Thurman and you're thinking to yourself, yo, I got to reclaim whatever glory that people think I lost or whatever, Lipyanets is not on your radar right now. You know what I'm saying? Ugas is not on your radar right now. You would rather have those rematches. That comes with money. That comes with prestige. That comes with, further developing your resume, and not just your resume, but your legacy.
With clout.
Exactly. So I just don't see it. Why Thurman would even choose those guys. But for Lipyanets to come out the gate hard at Thurman, like saying there's going to come a day where you're going to have to face me. whoa, what does that mean? Like, are you, is he in line to fight somebody like a Garcia or something? Like, is he going to take that head off and then everybody's going to be talking? Like, I don't know. I don't see that right now. I don't think he's in the mix for any really huge names. Look, I would love to see both those fights, but honestly, I'd rather see the rematches. So I can't see. Lipinets has got to understand where Thurman's coming from, and there's a reason he didn't mention Ugas.
He need to step on the fucking brakes. Look, he's almost in the mandatory shot for Crawford. And let's see where he's at 147. I'm going to screen share this, so pay attention to the visual. He is, oh, wow. They took him, what the hell?
To the top.
He used to be like number 2 in the WBO. He's gone. That's crazy. Now he's only in the IBF. And the WBC's number 10. IBF, he's number 3. No WBA. That's insane, bro. Everybody remembers him being like This is what I'm saying. This is why PBC act like that. This is why they act like that. Like, yo, you got to fight a ranked number 2 a month ago. We were all saying that he might be a mandatory, and all of a sudden he's disappeared from the rankings, bro. Not even top 15. Wow. He didn't lose that I know of, right? Like,
yeah, he did lose.
No. Recently, the only way you dropped.
Oh, recently. Oh, my bad. Yeah, no.
Nah, man, he's got 3-fight win streak, man.
He beat Eric Bonet. He beat Lamont Peterson.
I don't know. That's
Oh shit, he's on the docket for the 16th. I thought that was canceled.
Kudra.
Yeah, that is canceled. Everything in May
that is canceled, right? Okay.
That was gonna be a good fight, but that's the number 1 position in the IBF. Kudratilo, the funny thing, isn't Kudratilo a top-ranked fighter? Isn't that the guy that beat, let me Google him, I think he's the guy that beat Luis Collazo, who fucking canceled on us.
Yeah, he's definitely top, right?
Yeah, he fought on ESPN last.
Yeah, he beat Luis Collazo last. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was Collazo, you're right.
This dude is going to get bodied. Yo, we about to make bread. Yo, I don't think Lipinets is a big dude. But Lipinets, man, he seems tougher than Kudratilo. Like, yo, Kudratilo was looking like a little boy versus Collazo. But before I bet on it, I'll definitely go back and watch that Collazo fight. But damn, I felt like he was very, very small. Even though Lipinets is small, man, Mikey kind of batted him around and shit, man. I hope he gains some weight in that welterweight division, coming up here asking for that. Them Keith Small. Like, yo, these guys, I get you. And that's why we mentioned you. That's how you get mentioned. This is what you're supposed to do. Talk about the top, hope to get a shot, but the truth is you ain't done enough to get a shot. You got your opportunity with Mikey, and it ain't work out. You just beat Lamont Peterson, sent him into retirement. That was cool, but you didn't capitalize. They let that momentum die. That was March of 2019. Then you fought Jaynar Ensign. I never heard of that dude. And
I don't know who that is.
That didn't do nothing for your 2019 either, because that was only in July. You haven't fought since July. You not hot. That's why Thurman ain't mentioned you.
That was a soft touch.
That was definitely soft. Yo,
but that's why Thurman ain't mentioned you. If you fighting tune-ups, you a prospect trying to get a title, but you fighting tune-ups. Like, Thurman, why would Thurman talk about you?
Yo, just real quick, Kudratilo is 5'9.5" according to BoxRec. I just looked it up, and Lipinets is 5'7".
Oh, wow. How tall is Collazo then? Because he looks so little in that Collazo fight, bro.
Yeah, he did. Collazo is actually 5'9", so he's actually half an inch. According to BoxRec too, we got to say that because
sometimes they be lying.
Yeah, sometimes they're
like, boy, you reach a little longer than that. It's like,
there's another company. I think it's called Box Live Stats or something. They are actually a lot better in terms of information, but I'm so your brain is just used to BoxRec. It's what you're used to. They've been around for so long. But the other BoxRec, right? We're gonna call them the other BoxRec. they're actually way better. They give you percentages. They give you so much, like last 5 opponents and, the power and all this crazy stuff. I'm going to try and find the exact URL. I think it's like Live Box Stats or something like that. But let's see what other notes before we open it up. I'm going to give everybody a quick refresher, too, so you don't have to ask me what we're talking about. So, obviously, let me see here. Oh, that's what's going on. All right.
So we were talking. So next on the notes is Dominic Brazil says he's interested in fighting Andy Ruiz. We already kind of chopped that up. Yeah. So the last one was Shakur Stevenson teases a fight with Leo Santa Cruz on social media. Is this too much too soon for the young Olympian?
No.
Go ahead.
I think so much of Shakur. And I could be wrong, but I never thought that much of Leo. Like, I feel like Leo don't got power. You know what I mean? So, like, he was in there with Abner, but Abner started his career, like, at 115. So, like, Abner was always small. I remember Abner fighting, like, Johnny Perez on Showbox, like, 20 years ago. So, it's like, he's just, I don't know.
He was in the bantamweight tournament.
Exactly. So, yeah, I don't know. I think Shakur is a big guy that spars big guys, that's super competitive, that's super ahead of his time because of his resume. Like, Leo took the time that it takes for a guy to build himself up to be a champion. Shakur is on the fast track, and he became a champion in, like, 12 fights, 13 fights. He's an Olympian. It's just pedigree is there. The pedigree is there. The competitive nature, I would love it. The problem is this is two different entities. This is Al Heyman's fighter is Leo Santa Cruz. That's a PBC on Fox fighter. That's a franchise fighter for them. That's a Mexican guy that can bring in some television ratings. Shakur is a top-ranked star. How do they make this fight? But it would be a unification, right? Well, no. Shakur would have to move up because Leo's at 130.
Yeah, he would have to move up.
I would love this fight. I think he ready, man. This kid is just special. I'm not saying that just because he's from Jersey, from Newark, but like he got it. He got it, and he's filling in. He's young. He's getting bigger. I don't see why 5 pounds would really affect him much. He's in there sparring with Crawford, the likes of Crawford and other guys. So we already know the type of work he's gotten. Got the Olympic background. Give it. Get it. If you can get that, you teasing out there. And in the midst, you got Gary Russell kind of, calling all these cats out too. So it's like it's a good little mix of possibilities we're getting here. Give it to Shakur, bro. Take advantage if it's presented to you, Shakur, because like that'll make him a 2-division champ, right?
Yeah. Is that a big fight to you, Enrique? Stevenson and Leo Santa Cruz? Shakur and
Of course, anybody Stevenson, anybody Santa Cruz, or Haney, or all those 126-pounders.
Anybody Santa Cruz, so Gary Russell Santa Cruz, you paying on pay-per-view?
Oh, pay-per-view? Possibly. I mean, not really, but it's a good fight to me, a big fight.
Yeah, that's what I asked. I didn't ask if it was a pay-per-view or not. So yeah, I agree though. I agree. I just what I really wanted to know is like whether you see it like is it like a big fight right now to you, or do you think it's a big fight that in the future?
I don't think Santa Cruz has it for any of those names, to be honest.
Got
with you.
you.
He
Got
just
you.
looks small, but I would like to see it.
Saying.
I would like to see it because Santa Cruz gave a hell of a fight to Abner Mares, right? Did he fight Abner Mares?
Small.
Yep.
And he gave somebody else a fight.
Carl Frampton, small.
Carl Frampton, yeah, those small guys. But I don't see him going against Gary Russell, who's much more rugged. Yeah, man, I just want to see what Santa Cruz has because we've been boasting about him for a very long time.
That's why he got to get Al to bring Gervonta down because it's like, yo, you going to take my O from me, at least give me an opportunity to win. I ain't got the power to knock this dude out.
Nah, he has a Carl Frampton one.
Yeah, he lost to Carl the first time.
Yeah, and the Barclays, I think.
That's right. That's right.
But even so, like he redeemed it. You know what I'm saying? He came back and took it back. So it's like, he got that one back.
He AJ'd it.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't get that one back. So it's like anything he lost, he got it back the next one. So I don't want
to call him low hanging fruit because I don't think that's fair at all. But I'm kind of with Enrique on this. Like, I don't know. I don't think he's the one for those guys at all. I just don't think they match up well stylistically. I don't know. I don't see what Leo brings to the fight. Look, and okay, wait. Let me pump my brakes first because I'm talking about if this fight were to happen in the future. I don't want this fight right now. I don't want Shakur and Leo Santa Cruz.
Nah, but if I'm Leo, I want him now. I'm not waiting for this kid to get better to start filling in. Fuck that.
Oh yeah. That was the point I was trying to make. Is that if you're Leo, you want it now for sure. But the point I was trying to make is that if this fight happens in the fairest of terms, I guess I'll say, I don't see Leo Santa Cruz winning the fight. I don't. And so, but right now, the shot that he has is that, Shakur is still green. Leo brings all this experience, and he's also a tough out. That's the other thing. He's got veteran tactics. We talk about Orlando Salido when he fought Lomachenko and he used those veteran tactics. That's something that Leo's very good at. That's something Leo can utilize in a fight like that. So.
Leo fought twice last year. I don't remember not one of them.
Yo, Shakur. Cash.
Yo, who'd he fight? Did you at least check?
Cash. Like,
I don't remember either.
You gonna remember if he fighting Shakur? Like,
of course, that's what I'm saying. He needs to prove himself. He needs to fight somebody.
Like,
he fought. Yo, you right too. He fought some bullshit names: Rafael Rivera and Miguel Flores.
I don't even remember.
And he got 2 decisions. My man, like, he got 3. He on a 3 decision streak. Yo, they feeding him the tank. That's why he got to get the paycheck, and he got to get him to come down. He got to squeeze him. Same thing they did to Floyd. Like, that's the way you go. The A side acts like an A side. The B side does what he got to do to take that name from the A side.
He should fight Chris Colbert. He can't fight Chris Colbert because why?
Leo?
Yeah, Leo.
He could, but the upside ain't there. Al ain't ready to feed him to Colbert unless Colbert is an overnight success that we don't know of. Like, because you see, the formula is obviously speculation. But you got to rank the probability. So it's like, all right, if we put Tank and Leo, what's the probability that if Tank beats Leo by knockout, he becomes a star? Well, that probability is high. Say the same thing with Chris Colbert in that equation. If he beats Leo, is the probability as high as Gervonta that he's going to be a star?
No, not as hot. Not bigger.
It's not because it's not set up. It hasn't been set up. He hasn't been a main event. He hasn't sold in multiple different regions. He hasn't gone to the East and sold out. He hasn't gone to the West and sold out. He ain't with Floyd. He ain't being walked out by Drake. His outfits ain't made by OVO. Like, little things matter. And that's why Tank is ready for this type of name to take him over the top. But let's open up the lines. If that's everyone's finals, those are my finals.
Yeah, my final was Tank doesn't walk through him because I don't want him to be mad at me. But I think that Leo ain't up there, man. Too small.
Champ. Yo, I'd be just excited if my man just goes ahead. I'm not going to say play it safe, but he goes down the Gary Russell pass and he lets Tank find another goat to the slaughter.
Yeah, I agree with you, Doomy. I think that Fury needs to fight Joshua. Oh, my bad. That's not what you said. My bad. No, I was. Yeah, I agree with both of y'all. Y'all said it best, so I'll leave it at that. Let's get to the callers.
All right. Let me go to the sponsors. My new little soundbite, which I think.
I like it.
That's just city bike.
I picture him on a Debo bike passing by.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes. These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
Caesar, Las Vegas, what's going on?
Yo.
What up, champ?
What up?
Can you hear me all right?
We hear you.
Cool. Hey, sorry about this morning, man. I was listening the whole time, but I just couldn't take the call.
No problem, champ.
But yeah, man. Thanks for holding it down, guys, man. Y'all been getting me through these long ass days, man. But yeah, great show. I think Leo is food for those guys, man. I think he's just like they're all waiting to jump on his ass. But I think who do you guys believe will be the first one to fight Leo? Tank for sure, or is that fight official, or what's the deal with that?
It's not official. You know, it's up to Leo to pick who he gonna fight.
Right.
But I think Tank gets it because it's a bigger check, like Doomy said.
Yeah, that's probably true. He's more of a pull. But damn, I would really like that Shakur fight with Leo, though. I'd probably like that more than the Tank fight. So the Tank fight, I'm leaning more towards Tank just for the fact that, the power is there. But I think it'd be more of a technical pick them apart with Shakur. You know what I'm saying? I think that'd be a dope fight. But yeah, man, great show, man. You guys are doing great, man. You guys have a good day, man. TVB for life.
Caesar Vegas, thank you for calling in. We going out to Harlem. Getty. Harlem.
Yo, I'm just listening, Ness.
All right, Getty, thanks for calling in. King Born, Oregon.
Talk to me, guys. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something right now. That fight with Crawford and Charlo, that would be fire. That would be crazy because we know Charlo sleep cats, right? But Crawford got the reach and all that, and he know how to put it together. But can Charlo sleep Crawford? Because Charlo will have more pressure because you got 147 more than 154. Now, we all know what's going on with Tank too. They gonna do that Tank Leo Cruz like my man Doomy said. It's the money fight, so you got to do that. I don't think it's no damn pay-per-view, but I say Tank and you know what I'm saying, taking Leo. Oh, did you hear about our brother Deontay Wilder had a torn bicep? So right now he just laying low, chilling, trying to get his mind right and everything. And I'ma say it again: if he gonna step aside, give that man 20 mil, 30 mil. And Deontay should just step aside. I'm Deontay. Give me the 20 mil. You know what I'm saying? Let Fury and Joshua rumble and tumble. And I'm definitely getting unification. Because if Deontay get that unification, he ain't losing. Y'all know what time it is. He ain't losing that. That's what he wanted. That's what he wanted to be unified champion. That's what he going for. But everything else is everything else. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Teofimo, I think that your man Loma overhyped. He got nice footwork. He got no power. Teofimo gonna sleep him. That's my call, y'all.
Good call, man. Good call, King Born. Good call, man. Hitting on a bunch of topics there. We going out to Trey in the Bay. Talk to us.
Good call, King Born. Teofimo Loma, I wasn't sure about that. I don't know. Is Loma really trying to swerve all the young bucks? We'll find out real soon. I got my Trump check, dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to go out here and buy all kind of shit.
Oh, yours came in?
Yeah. What else I was looking at? Oh, Charlo versus Crawford. I don't know, man. Crawford might be too fucking small for Charlo, man. That might be too much. I'll watch it though. Andrew Ruiz and Reynoso, that's cool. Let's see if we can get his ass motivated down there, right? So all the shit you've been saying, if none of that happens when he down there with Canelo and them, are we giving up on Andy Ruiz?
I mean, it depends how many fights, but yeah, we might have to. I mean, we might have to start treating him like we treated Areola. Remember when Areola kept saying, "Oh, I'm gonna lose weight," and then he kept coming in fat. We cut him off, just like Joan Guzman.
I think we might have to do the same thing with Tank, right? If he go up again
Hell yeah,
and
that's
don't
another
fucking make
one.
weight, if Tank go up another fucking division and miss weight, oh yeah, I think that fight make more sense at 130 anyway because fuck man, he gonna kill Santa Cruz anyway, man. That's not a good fight. Tank needs some real competition, bro. He need to go and fight one of them boys at 135, man. That's my first call.
Trainer Bay, thanks for calling in. Good call, good call. Also hit on numerous topics. Let me pull it up just to give everybody that refresh. Obviously, Andy Ruiz has expressed his interest in working with Eddy Reynoso. This is following reports that Eddy Reynoso was also saying that he was interested in training Andy Ruiz. So, obviously, you know, does Andy deserve a blank slate from us, from the fans? And should he choose Reynoso is what we're asking you. Then, obviously, you know, Jermell Charlo and Terrence Crawford, the clapbacks, the back and forth, the criticism, the fight. Should it happen? Should Crawford move up to 54? Is that a super fight? Would you receive it as one, you know? Joshua says, yo, you know, me and Fury need to do this. Pulev and Wilder need to, you know, kind of sit to the back and let us get busy. What do you guys think should happen? Fury reacts to Wilder's comments. Wilder says it wasn't him. Fury says, look, it was you. I felt the punches hitting you, so it was you. Santa Cruz, obviously, you know, he's got options with He's got options with Gary Russell. Gary Russell. Yo, what the fuck? I'm tongue-tied right now. He's got options with Gary Russell and Tank Davis, man, who missed weight when he debuted at 135 in his last fight. Tank just debuted at 130 in his last fight. He's saying, I'll fight Tank, but he got to come down to, Leo debuted at 130 in his last fight. So Tank will come down to 130 to make the fight because that's what Leo wants. You know, the question to you is, should he come down? Should Tank go back to 130 for this perceived quote-unquote super fight? And actually, do you think it's a super fight? Any other news and notes? I guess we got Dominic Brazil interested in fighting Andy Ruiz. And we have Stevenson also interested in but moving up to face Leo Santa Cruz at 130. So again, that's just another option for Leo A-side Santa Cruz. You know what I'm saying? Let's go out to Info Joe, California. What up?
Mr. Info Joe.
This portion of the show we call In the
Mr.
Know,
Info Joe.
presented by my brother.
Yo, what's up, my boxing brothers?
What up? Joe, what up? Joe, what do you know?
Hey, man, thank y'all. You hear me?
We do now.
Okay. No, I was saying, man, shout out to y'all, man. Even though we ain't got no fights, man, y'all keeping it rocking, man. Giving us topics to debate about, man, for the future, man. Great work, fellas. But on to first off, what was the first one? Fuck y'all. Hold up. Wilder, I'm hoping if he had a torn bicep, man, maybe he should take like King Born said, the $20 million to step aside, although I wouldn't want him to. and I think he has a lot of pride. I
Yo,
don't
that
think he
20 million is
would.
unconfirmed, bro. No one ever said 20.
Oh, no, I'm just saying he shot out a number. That'd be a good number for him to step aside and let Fury and AJ fight. But I don't think he'd do it. On to Loma. I'm disappointed in Loma, man. If everything that Teofimo was saying was true. And if I'm not mistaken, man, I've been in New York, man. You got more Russians and Ukrainians probably in New York than anywhere in America. Why wouldn't he want to have a fight in New York, right? Or am I tripping?
Nah, I agree. I absolutely agree.
Yeah, the idea is to sell tickets and fill up the arena, man. Where else can he do that at? You know, they got a big population there, you know, from what I recollect. And I hope that fight does happen. And what was that with Leo Santa Cruz?
And Shakur Stevenson.
Or Gary Russell or Tank.
Yeah.
Options.
He says Tank has to come to 130 if he wants to fight. If not, he's going to try to secure it with Gary Russell Jr.
Man, you know what? Gary been asking for that fight for a long time now. Give it to Gary Russell. If not, Shakur Stevenson. Great job, y'all. Everybody listening, man. Hope you have a blessed, no stress day. Stay safe. I know everybody listening is probably going through some shit or know somebody going through some shit with this coronavirus going on. Hold your heads up and keep pushing. We're going to get through this shit. That's all I got, fam. Peace.
Yeah, you know, I agree with him, Joe. Like, Lomachenko's trying to make this seem like if this is like him travel, like an American fighter traveling to the UK. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not that. Like, maybe Teofimo's,
right,
you know, more popular come fight night, but you know what I'm saying? Like that, it's not the same at all.
Am I mistaken? He fought there like 2 or 3 times already at MSG, right?
Yes, he did.
Yes,
he did.
Multiple,
yes, he did.
Yeah.
Multiple.
Yeah, he tripping.
Joe, man, thanks for calling in. We're going out to a new call in a 708. Where's that state at, Mario?
That is in.
We don't have any other 708s.
Chicago.
Oh.
Chantville. Chantville, Chicago.
First time caller. If you're a first time caller, say you're a first time caller. We'll go ahead and play this first time caller intro, and you can go ahead and introduce yourself to the world and let them know where your name is and where you're calling from.
No, this is Steve, Ness.
Oh, Steve in Chicago.
I gave you this number.
Sorry about that, Steve.
Yeah.
We got you for sure.
Yeah.
Steve in Chicago, what it do?
All right. Hey, good evening, fellas. Hey, let me hit these topics real quick. So with Ruiz, you baked the cake, Ness. Now I'm going to put the icing on the cake. He is the perfect match for Reynoso. And I'm going to look at it from a geographical point of view. If you know where Andy stays at, he could piss on San Diego. San Diego's like right in his backyard. If he got to go up to L.A. with them other trainers, man, the traffic in L.A. is a motherfucker. You know that. I've been out there. He'd be driving 2-3 hours a day from where he stays to go to camp. He probably got a 20-minute ride to go to Reynoso's camp. So that is a perfect match for Ruiz. And on top of what the other stuff you brought up, now, the second topic with Charlo Crawford, that fight ain't going to happen. But I'd like to see it. I think Charlo's too much for Crawford. But we know that's a dream fight. That PBC ain't going to make that fight. But then on Wilder Fury, hey, man.
Whoa. I'm glad you gave us some debate here.
Wait, let me finish.
Why do you think PBC won't make it?
They ain't gonna make that with Crawford.
Hy not? Well, they're in the advantage.
They've been telling you. Hold on. Listen to me. They've been telling you how they don't respect the WBO. Why are they gonna let Crawford come up and fight Charlo? Like, what do they see? What is?
Because Charlo's at an advantage. Yo, Charlo's would be at an advantage.
Yeah, I know that.
So you're giving your fighter a chance to have a super fight with a pound for pound fighter. He'll gain clout. He got the upside in terms of advantage.
I hear you, but I just don't see that fight happen. I hope it does, bro. I hope it does. Because then I'm going to laugh at all the blood veins. I hope it happens. Because I don't see Crawford. Charlo's too much for Crawford. But anyways, let me hit this other topic.
Skills pay the bills, man. A
let me
lot of
say about
Mexican fans thought that De La Hoya was going to be too much for Floyd.
Yeah, don't forget the green can machine, whatever the hell you call him. He put Crawford down. What do you think? What do you think if fucking Charlo clips him? What's gonna happen? You think Crawford's gonna come back like a dog? I guarantee you, Charlo hits a hell of a lot harder than fucking Green Machine.
Well, I'll say this: Crawford has shown that he hasn't gone down except for that one time I seen, which I don't know. Brandon talking about don't exist, but he hasn't showed that he won't get back up. We can't assume that he won't get back up.
Well, we'll see. That might don't happen, man. But anyway, with Wilder, they ain't got the money to pay Wilder. They ain't got the money. You think a UK fight with Tyson and AJ can generate money to pay AJ, pay Fury what he wants? He wants to be the A side now, and to pay Wilder step aside. No, unless they take that shit to Saudi Arabia. But they want to have that fight in the UK. That fight don't generate that kind of money there. Trust me. They ain't got the money for that.
Cut it. Steve, great call, brother. Great call. Gave us another little talking point there, man, because
sure did.
Fuck, man. I don't see why PBC wouldn't take it. Like, that would be stupid of PBC if Crawford's team sent an offer and they said no for no good enough reason. Like, I don't even see a good enough reason not to take it, especially when you have the weight advantage. And it's not like that's just all you got. Like, Charlo's a skilled boxer. He's become a puncher, but he could, go watch him fight Gabe Rosado. Like, he can box if he wants and stay on his toes and pop that jab as a machine gun. So I don't know, man.
But if you don't remember, that was the MO for Jermell.
Yeah. His brother was the one that was a puncher. He was the boxer.
Exactly.
So people are just forgetting because he's with Derek James. Listen, I guess I'm bigger on it because I'm just thirsty for Crawford to be in the ring with some competition. So if it's gonna be Charlo, amen. Because that's like, I've been asking for someone good. This is like someone, considered almost great, right? Like on that level, not great, but I guess on the cusp to greatness. He's got a career. He's 2-time champion. And his story isn't fully written, so he's got an opportunity. But again, he should be wanting that fight because of Crawford's accolades. Let's get to Mike. Talk to us, Mike John. Where are you calling in from, Mike? You got to unmute, champ. Going once. Twice. Mike. John, no problem. We're going out to Atlanta.
Hell no. He mad because I get the better fights. He mad because they still like me more. He mad because I got better numbers. He mad because he can't beat Keith Thurman. That's why he mad. Hell no. So once when I get on that stage and I come at you, better not duck me, son. You better not duck me, son. I'm telling you.
What's good? What's good?
Intrigue, what up?
Chilling.
How's the weather in Atlanta? I never asked you that.
It's like right now, it's like probably about 60 degrees.
Oh, that ain't
At
bad.
night, it dropped down, get a little lower, but it was about 69 earlier in the daytime. Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah, straight. But Steve, I just wanted to help Steve out. He was struggling with the boxing name. It ain't Green Machine, it's Corn Machine. And then on the points of what is it? The Charlo Crawford fight. Yeah, I was saying the same thing. Al will never let that fight happen. Cause it's no point in letting Charlo fight Crawford. Cause there's a chance Crawford can beat Charlo. And if he get beat by Crawford, that's just terrible for his career. You know what I mean? You let a dude come up from
I mean,
147 who really
it wasn't terrible for Oscar. Like, yo,
Oscar and Charlo, two different
a
things.
great talent is a great talent, though, and if that's what Crawford is, and he
Uh,
proved it to the world with Charlo, I don't think Charlo would get disrespected.
yeah.
No one shits on Oscar for Floyd beating him.
Yeah, but look at how he struggled against Harrison, and Crawford is a better boxer than Harrison, so they know that's not
So
somebody to put
so
him in
now
there
you
with.
scared.
I ain't scared, but I'm telling you that's what Al gonna do.
Nah, you
Al is
scared
not
now.
gonna
You
let.
supposed to be wanting somebody to fight the Bud
I
Crawford,
want
not.
Thurman. I want Thurman. I don't want
So
no
wait a
Charlo
minute. So
fighting.
wait a minute. You think Thurman got a better shot than Jermell Charlo?
I didn't say that. I just said the risk for Al in his head, thinking about the type of boxer that Crawford is, and I think Crawford is better than Tony Harrison. Do you think Bud could beat Harrison?
I mean, bruh, Harrison, could Bud knock out Harrison? Because that's Harrison's kryptonite. Remember, he be outboxing everybody he fight. Jarrett Hurd, Willie Nelson, Jermell Charlo. He outbox you till he get knocked out. So the question is, can Bud knock him out? Because if he
I don't
can't,
think he would knock out Charlo, but I think he would beat him on points. That's just that's how I see that fight going. And then real quick on that Lipnitz, man, Thurman don't want no Sergey Lipnitz, man. That's a dude we call to come do some training sessions to get the dust off the gloves, man. We looking for bigger and better things,
sparring
bro.
partner, damn.
Yeah, sparring partner, man. But yeah, you catch me
Damn.
on the boomerang.
All right. They ain't calling him a sparring partner. Damn. Okay. Let me see. Who's up in the place to be? That was intriguing. We're going to Stonebone Boxing, Colorado.
What up? What up? What up?
What's going
Yeah,
on?
Shakur, man, I would love that fight for him, man. That'll be basically Lomachenko versus Gary Russell. You know what I mean? Another top-ranked young guy, and Leo ain't a young guy no more, but so it'd be a little bit experience for Shakur to get over, but I think he got the talent to do it. Ruiz would listen. If you don't think that motivation is important and everybody motivate themselves, go watch a Virgil Hunter fight. You can do it, son. Come on. I believe in you. Just push through. That's motivation. That ain't coaching. And part of coaching is motivation. So sometimes you need a coach that can motivate a guy to get out there and do it. And being around greatness sometimes rubs off. And you know what I mean, he looking at Canelo and he looking at young Ryan Garcia. Man, he might throw an extra 100 punches that practice. Man, he might get that rub off. I see it every day with Bud and the guys around him. You think guys ain't lifting up they game because they're around that elite level fighter? Absolutely. And Charlo, listen, Team Crawford, we ready for that fight coming off of COVID. That's a 54. We'll come down. You know what I mean, that'll be just a easy make in the gym that he won't even have to put in that same work to get to that 47. He'll have to go hard, put on a little more muscle to deal with Charlo. But we seen Tolly Harrison outbox him easily 8 rounds in a row, and Harrison has no chin. He's been knocked out multiple times. We know his footwork is suspect, and he fades at round 8. You ain't never seen Crawford fade, top shape, top condition, and it's gonna look bad at the press conference when he say, Earl, since you ain't want to fight, I'm gonna have to beat up your boyfriend, and then maybe you'll get in the ring. So while he running
But that's
around,
exactly what we need, bro. I really hope it can happen, man. I really do, for real. That would be beautiful.
he said he'll take it coming off of COVID. They fought around the same
Tell
time.
him he need to do an Instagram video saying that shit, and everybody gonna do a
Look,
video off of that.
Same time. They fought around the same time too, so they gonna be off the same amount of time. It ain't no rusty, none of that shit. They both fought in what, November, December. So yeah, December. They both fought in December. So let's get it on. I'm gonna catch y'all in the morning, man.
Bruh, I would really love that Charlo fight.
Yo,
man.
what if he just came out tomorrow talking that type of shit? Like, he's just like, yo, I'm gonna get your boyfriend because You ain't ready to fight, so I'll fight your man. Don't worry, he's gonna try to protect you. Yo, that would be whoa.
That's what he needs. That's what
Yo,
he
this
needs.
Jermell Charlo
Listen,
fight.
listen. That's Clubber Lang. When I say you got to Clubber Lang somebody, that's Clubber Lang in them. You know what I'm saying? Embarrassing them in front of the people, embarrassing them in front of their public, embarrassing them at their press conference, all that, man. That's Clubber Lang.
I see this fight getting huge if he fights Earl. I think it gives it more validation in the public for us to like want to see it. If he beats Earl first, like, yo, I beat your man Earl, now I'm coming after you in the higher weight class. And he could actually wait a little longer too after he beats Earl to try to, let that fight marinate. It's just gonna be there. It's like he's gonna get bigger, right? Or he might want to get moved up.
Yeah, but why would you want to marinate this? I think the whole left field is what makes it a big fight. It's like ESPN, they already... Top Rank is ESPN, so they already gonna be like, oh my God, he's moving up, once in a generation talent, bro. This is everything that he needs. Everything. I
feel like, damn, I feel like you my boy. You're going into my bag. You feel me?
Who?
I hear you there.
Who?
You feel me?
Jamel?
Yeah.
No, Spence, right?
Spence. Yeah, Spence feels
Yeah,
that way.
that's what Spence is gonna say about Jermell. You're saying?
Yeah, like, bro, you're going in my bag. Like, we supposed to be boys. We came up.
Bruh, Jermell ain't the star that Earl is, so Earl can't be saying that. Earl gotta be like, get your money, get your money. Get your money, because I already made mines. I already did 2 pay-per-views. Go ahead, do your thing, champ. I'm already unified. I'm already ahead of you, and I started after you. Go ahead, do your thing. Beat him up. I still got Pacquiao. I still got Danny Thurman. Beat him up. What you mean?
You saying Pacquiao? Yeah, like if Earl gets that Pacquiao fight, and in the same time that
he
Crawford
don't gotta get it. He don't gotta get it. If Crawford is a piece on the board and Charlo and him gotta fight, Pacquiao is more probable to go towards Earl, and Earl has at least that in his mind that the Pacquiao fight is still there. Like, they ain't got nothing to do with nothing. What
he
this got to do?
He gotta forget about fighting Crawford, because if Jermell Charlo goes ahead and he upsets, it's over. We ain't gonna want to see that fight. Excuse me. We ain't gonna want to.
So Trenton Jones is saying, bruh, y'all talking Harrison like we ain't just see Crab and Lobster drop Bud and take dude who can't go 12 rounds. Stop the BS. That's what I'm saying. Listen, that fight, I promise you, y'all looking at it and it's like, but I promise you, if it happens, as it gets closer, we're gonna be like 50-50. 50-50, because Crawford ain't been in there with no puncher like that. Let alone a puncher like that in the 154. He ain't been with a real welterweight puncher. He ain't been with a real 35-pound puncher. And you about to put him in with a puncher in Jermell Charlo, who is twin. Yo, like, the genetics is there. Like, nah. I can't believe Steve in Chicago said PBC won't make that fight. Top Rank won't make that fight. Promise you Top Rank won't make that fight. They just gave me a reason to call Bob again. That's a new reason. Now we can have Bob on the show. See what he entertain this shit. Might have to call Bo Mac. He might not fuck with me, but we gonna try anyway. Nah, for real, because that's the move right there. Super chat from Trenton Jones, who says Team Crawford won't send an offer. And that's what I'm saying. Look, promoters like to say fights don't get made over the internet, and maybe they right, maybe they wrong. Because if more promoters picked up the phone off of every tweet, we'd have some real good fights, because eventually, some of those phone calls will turn into something. They will.
I think sometimes they feel the opposite. They feel like they lose control. You know. They
Yeah, but
lose
this is
control.
the boxing gods giving us a fight and giving Crawford an opportunity and Jermell, because it's like I said, Earl's already done 2 successful pay-per-views. Earl set up. He set up. His only regret was that he had went through that accident and he didn't set the will up. The money was there to set up the will. He's good now. Crawford and Jermell need a pay-per-view. I won't mind paying pay-per-view if that's what makes Bob happy with sending an offer.
Yeah, I would pay pay-per-view for it.
If this got to be pay-per-view, I'm not mad. I wouldn't even expect it to be, because I've been saying super fight. I put it in the names of super fights or perceived super fights when announced. Kell Brook and Gennady, Amir Khan and Canelo, Mikey and Earl. These are all things I said 3 hours ago. So I'll pay $80 for Crawford to fight Jermell Charlo. That's how bad I want him to fight a top 10 dude.
Well, they keep talking about, tell Crawford to send the contract. Oh, he won't send the contract. Well, they're right. They're absolutely right. And if you're Crawford, you're not going to send a contract because you got Thurman talking about you. You got Sean Porter talking about you. You know what I'm saying? So there are other contracts to send. So that might be definitely, they're definitely right that the contract's not going to get sent while these things are going on. But if you're Crawford and you already admitted, I don't want to fight Brook, or what did he say? Brook's my last choice or something like that. You already know that you have to create your own path at this point. If you aren't going to secure these fights, then you got to secure them yourself. And if this is the route you got to go, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
Yo, I swear, is Trenton me with a troll account? Did I make that account and I don't know? Is that another YouTube I got? Yo, he said Bud, but he meant to put Bud is seen as the, no, he did put it. Bud is seen as the Terminator, but never had to prove it. It's true. He's so good. People compare him to Floyd. Floyd say he's the next pound for pound. You a once in a lifetime talent. Why can't you move up? Look, I was already calling him to move up for Patrick Teixeira just so he could gain popularity. The boxing gods blessed him. He was interviewed. He said, nah, man, I ain't moving up to fight that dude. And I get it. Who the fuck is Patrick Teixeira? A Brazilian that hasn't made a name for himself yet. But that's not Jermell Charlo. That's not Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo is also not fucking Victor Postal. So the pay-per-view gonna do better. Jermell Charlo is also not Amir Khan. So the pay-per-view gonna do better. I like this fight, man. This might be tomorrow morning's show, man. We can't let this one die, I think. We got a Friday show, though, right? Evening?
Yeah, with Thurman.
With Thurman. We should sneak
Yeah,
Bob.
man.
We should sneak Bob on that show. We should try and schedule Bob for that Friday show evening so we could get this answer right here, bro, because you know what? I mean, what perfect place to have a Thurman, Crawford, Bob, Jermell Charlo show. That might make sense. It's coming together. Yeah. I should text Bob that, tell him for Friday, and do him straight at 4 o'clock his time.
Well, you better hurry. That's tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, that is tomorrow. Shit. Let me text him then. Yeah, man, those are my final thoughts, though. I think we got my Jimbe on the boomerang. What up, champ?
Yo, what's good, everybody? I just wanted to touch on something. Some of the guys in the YouTube chat were going back and forth about the interviews, and I just wanted to state my case that that's one of the reasons why I keep coming back to TBV is because of the interviews and how great they are. I mean, even when you have prospects like Sacharito on, giving them that exposure, it's great for not only us, but the sport in general. I hope you guys never stop doing interviews. Continue doing them. You guys are great at it. I don't understand why people hate on them so much. Like, I think there's enough balance in this show where you guys have enough back and forth, but you integrate the interviews in perfectly. I don't know. I just think you guys do a great job. Loma is a super duck. I mean, not giving Tio what he wanted. I mean, the guy's he's scared out of his mind, in my opinion. And definitely, I can see Charlo getting outboxed, but I could also see him knocking it out. But that's my call. Yeah, have a great evening.
I appreciate it, man, for real.
Most
Yeah, me
definitely,
too,
champ.
man. Because I've seen a few comments, and not everyone does love the interviews. But I've been doing this long enough that I understand a guy like Salcerito needs the exposure, man. And you build relationships like that too. Those guys grow up to be the big babies of the world and the Deontay Wilders of the world. We were covering
And every
Deontay
once in a
before he
while,
was
they
a
become
champ.
the Terrence Crawfords of the world.
Yeah, I mean,
Because
we were
same
covering
position.
Terrence. We were covering Terrence before he was a champ too. So it's
Yo, and
like
they
that,
and
that's
they
the way
said,
it's got to
don't
be.
ever get that man on this show again. Keep him off
Exactly.
air. Yo, they told
No,
us
we
that they
should
wouldn't
find the
listen.
audio, bro. I mean,
For real, we
it's so
should.
hard. No, but it would be so hard because it was like we did the interview, then callers would call in either that day or the next day, like, oh, I heard
that's
that,
right.
but you know what I mean? But we got Bud early on, and then we never got him again. But if we listen to Ya, then it would be like that. But who said come back to him? Let me double check here. Got probably a boomerang. Oh, yeah, my Jimbe boomerang. What up?
Another point. So after the interview with Sacerito, and I tried to do this as much as possible when I have a chance, I hit him up right away after the interview, just thanking him for being on the show. And he responded right away, gave me a follow, and let me know that he appreciates the support. And that's all these guys really want, man. They're just trying to grow themselves, trying to get a few dollars in their pocket. Again, I can't reiterate this enough. I think it's great for the sport what you guys do.
And we appreciate that heavy, champ.
I do, man. I enjoy the interviews. Another thing that people want is the interview in the title. They're like, yo, if you're not chasing
Yeah.
views, put the interview in the title. That's a little difficult. And what we could do is put it in the description, and it's your job to read the description. I know a lot of you guys don't like reading the description, but it's a little more difficult to put it in the title simply because, look, Gilberto did it. He's a no-show. And I talked to him multiple times today, but he's a no-show today. So, you put
Had me reading articles in Espanol, getting ready for the champ.
Yeah, you put it in the
Yeah,
title.
that's the problem right there. You're absolutely right. Like we could put them in the title, and then live radio doesn't always work out in our favor. In fact, a lot of
Yeah.
times it don't.
No, a lot of
So-
times it doesn't at all. But did speak to Wilder today, and he said that he's gonna give us an interview. We need to just be patient, But who's 404?
Well,
Mario?
his terms were I couldn't ask any questions.
No, he didn't even.
No, I'm
he
just kidding.
he didn't
I'm
even
fucking-
mention you
I know,
yet.
I'm playing.
But I'm assuming he's heard.
Oh yeah, I'm
assuming
sure.
he's
Yes.
heard.
3. That's lids low.
Lidgelow, Decatur, Georgia, talk to us.
Yo, what's up, fellas?
What up? I'm glad you called in. We just talking Charlo and Crawford.
Yeah, man. And like I said, I want that fight, man. I like that. Hey, anybody, shit. As long as they say Crawford name, let it run it, man. I don't even care. But look, I don't want to let this fight die neither. I know it ain't been announced or nothing like that, but I'm really pushing for it. Ugas and Jerron Ennis, man. I want to see that match go.
That's a tough test for Boots for sure.
Yes, sir. Hey, but Boots, I think he deserves it, man.
I don't
kind
think
of
that fight. I don't think that fight could happen like in his next fight. Because he only
Well, I
had,
ain't
he
gonna
only
say
had
next
one
fight.
fight with Showtime, right? The Iabba fight. They still got to parade him a little bit more.
That's a good word. That's a good word to use.
But yeah, man, shout out to the whole show, man. Everybody signed up to Patreon. Yeah, man, look at this Charlo and Crawford. Crawford and anybody, man. You say you're talking to Thurman tomorrow, right?
7:30.
All right, bet it up, man, because I do got my question in there. I'm ready to see what's shaking with them. But, man, y'all keep rocking out, man. I'm out there count.
All right, champ. Thanks for calling in. We got Trey in the Bay. Boomerang. Did we go to her twice?
So Wilder
We
gonna
did
come
not.
on, huh? Hey, Mario. I want to make sure you don't forget to have that conversation you was having with Wilder. All right?
I'll
Don't
be
forget
on.
to
I'll
call
be
him
on.
son and all that old bullshit. All right?
Yeah, nah, I'll be on for sure.
I want you to keep that same energy. Don't be trying to change that tone and none of that bullshit. You hear me? Hey, Ness, your favorite rapper from from your state dropping a hot new album. That boy Trench. He dropping some fire for this coronavirus now. Don't you copy that shit or not?
Nah.
Hey, and last thing I gotta say, Ness, call Bob.
What? I didn't even hear that last part.
Oh, I was saying call Bob, man, so
Oh
and
yes.
find out
No,
if he
I
gonna make
text
that
him.
fight.
No, I text him. I text him already. I'm trying to get him on for
All
7 o'clock.
right.
I'm trying to get Bob for 7. If he agrees to 7, we'll just go live at like 6:45 over here for us. You know, be 15 minutes early for Bob, and we will have to get him out of there in 30 because we're gonna have Keith on. I would have scheduled him after Keith, but Keith is a big talker, so he might just do an hour on his own. Mike Johnson, I'm trying you one more time, champ. You never unmuted. Going once, twice. Mike Johnson, Intrigue, Boomerang.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hold on, Intrigue. We hear you, Mike. Talk to us.
I mean, in the middle, I was there eating some bud tenders. I mean, some chicken tenders.
Hold
But
on, Intrigue. Hold on, Intrigue. Mike Johnson just came on. Go ahead, Mike.
Yo, can y'all hear me?
We do.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, yeah. On the Jermell Charlo Crawford. Yeah, I don't think that fight can get made no time soon. Though it seems like.
All
Was that
right.
it? Hey,
Intrigue,
got
talk
anything
to us.
else? Nope.
Nah,
All right.
he dropped off. I
Okay.
guess he didn't
My
like
bad.
his background.
yeah, yeah. The other point I wanted to make on that Crawford Charlo fight, why I call it a fantasy fight. I said Al would never make it, and secondly, Bob would never make it. Bob not about to put Crawford in the midst of fire of a Charlo, a beast like Charlo. He ain't never fought a puncher like Charlo. Put him up in 154. So it's both. Neither promoter gonna make that fight happen. I guarantee you that. That fight ain't happening. As I said, I ain't even trying to put no energy to it. If it happened, I'd be excited for it. But it ain't happening. Neither promoter gonna do that. Now, if Shakur Stevenson somehow get his name bigger, Bob would be willing to sacrifice Terrence. He'll sacrifice him, but he ain't about to sacrifice him yet. That's what I think.
I feel you. I feel you. I can understand that, but man, it just seems like reading everything that everybody's talking about, the callers, there's something about this fight. Do not get it twisted. There is some sort of magic with these two names together because hate it or love it, people are reacting. And so, yeah, I don't know what it is for sure. And it's the same with me. Like, I love it. I love it, but can't put my finger on what it is exactly. It's a lot of variables, but
Nah, I'm about to push this fight. F that. We pushing this one.
you gonna Larry Merchant, just like De La Hoya Pacquiao?
Yeah, man. He needs this, man. Listen, this is a pay-per-view for him.
For sure. Absolutely.
And there's no doubt in my mind they could do like 275, maybe even 345.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
No doubt.
I mean, if they put it where it needs to be, if they promote it the way it needs to be promoted, there's no question it's a successful business for sure. So I don't know, man. It's weird. It's like both these guys have this allure, and together they're like this star power that is, it's like fucking Captain Planet and shit. Everybody putting their rings together, and it's like with our powers combined, and then it's just super fight.
Nah, I like it, man. I like it. The more we talked about it, I like it even more. You know,
I like it more when Bob comes on and gives us a good reason.
Why not?
Yeah, exactly. And then we can shit on that because I just don't see it. Look, don't get me wrong. I can see it if you're in the business of waiting out one of the welterweights. But if you're not in the business of waiting Spence out or waiting Thurman out, you got to make something happen. And I think this is something that he can make happen for sure. I do.
Agreed. This is bigger than Kellbrook.
Oh,
like
by far leaps bigger than Kellbrook.
And this has to make better money than Kellbrook. Like it has to.
I think it does.
Is that
for
international check that big that somehow the Kellbrook fight is still big for Bob because he gets international pay-per-view money?
I think that's the reason to do it, but I don't think that necessarily means it's better business than going the Charlo route. Not at all. Not necessarily.
Interesting, man. Interesting. But yeah, man, that's GTO, Instagram and Twitter. We got to everybody. We got no more boomerangs. Time to go. Catch us on the next one. We're gonna definitely try to keep this going, man. I text Bob. I'm gonna see who else I can call here. Maybe a matchmaker, man. You know, that's who we need to get. We need to get the Roberto Diaz's, Bruce Tramplers, all the matchmakers, man, because that's
Bruce Trampler would be great.
That's who would tell us if this fight is even possible, you know?
Yep, absolutely, 100%. Just a reminder, tomorrow in the morning, we don't have anybody scheduled, but make sure you catch us tomorrow in the morning anyway, so you can hear me dismantle rapper after rapper. And then at night, we got Keith Thurman, and y'all know that's going to be a show. Like, I don't got to say nothing. That's going to be a show. Y'all know that's going to be a show. And feeding off the energy. And I'm going to go back and listen to the show that we did on Thurman and Crawford. Well, the Thurman interview that he gave, just to get that energy back, just to try to feed them vibes. You know what I'm saying? To feed into Friday night, because that was a great show, first and foremost. And we brought up a lot of other topics that, you know, they were going so fast that it's like hard to, catch them all. So definitely going to go back, listen to that show, and be prepared for tomorrow's interview because, I think it's going to be worth the price of admission for sure. At Mario Munguia on Twitter, at Mario Munguia on Instagram. Peace.
Peace. Oh, wait a minute. What's that? Counterpunch from Intrigue. What up?
Really ain't no counterpunch, but I guarantee you get Bob on here tomorrow, Ness, he gonna be like, I never, we'll make the fight, Ness, but Charlo, his name is not big. Nobody knows who he is. He's not big enough. Who has he fought? He just lost to Tony, a guy that nobody else. He can't sell out an arena. He's gonna give you about 20 excuses of why he shouldn't make that fight. I guarantee you.
That's what we need, though. That's what we need. We need it on record. We gonna push this, man. We gonna interview everybody about this fight. It's over.
That
I like
man
this fight.
Is not a star.
Man. You need to push that Thurman fight. Push the Thurman fight, man. That's what I want to see.
Thurman ain't ready, man.
Hey, man.
He's asking for tune-ups, man.
Hey, man, if Thurman say he ain't ready, then I'm cool. But if he say he ready tomorrow, that's the fight that need to get pushed.
Bruh, he gonna ask for a tune-up. You know that.
But just because he asked for a tune-up doesn't mean that that's not the fight
he
to
said,
get pushed,
he said
right?
he would take it. He said he would take it for his birthday, though. He did say that.
Yo, listen, we see it all the time where these guys sign to fight each other and they agree to interim bouts. You know what I'm saying? So there's no reason why, in my opinion, if you want a tune-up fight, that you don't put that in the contract. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me get one out, let me get right, and then we come to the table, because I'm assuming Crawford's going to want the same thing. Look, we don't know when this is going to end. It's just smart business, and it's looking out for your athlete. You know what I'm saying? So I would actually prefer to see it with both these guys getting a tune-up first, based on the current situation we're in. Now, you know what? I don't care. Regardless, I would rather see it like that. I don't want to see Thurman thrown into there, because let's assume Crawford starches him. I don't think he gets the credit that he should deserve, because people are going to, oh, well, that was a damaged goods Thurman, blah, blah, blah. Like, nah, we need him to be right. I don't want Crawford to fight a guy named Thurman. I want Crawford to fight that guy.
Oh, you really became a bud tender. We need him to be right.
I just meant like as fight fans, but yeah, like I just want the best to fight the best. You know what I'm saying? And Thurman's got to be at his best for that for that prophecy to be fulfilled.
Yeah, man, I'm done, man. That's GTO, Instagram and Twitter. Peace.
Peace.